Do we have my song? My song. Is my song playing? Why don't I get a song today? JR, you lied to anyways. What wow. Way to have me on at 10 talking about attachment styles and anxiety and shit. Anyways, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Life with G podcast. It's Thirsty Thursday, which means it's go time for us. You already know what time it is. It's a Puerto Rican podcast. Princess, your favorite baby mama in the building. And we have JR per usual.
It's high noon. What up, people? I want everybody to know it's Thursday. A lot of love, tranquility. I just really want everybody to understand that there's love in the air. And I hope y'all can feel it.
First of all, is that a Snuggie that you have on?
So what? Keep going.
Wow. Anyways, and we have a returning guest, one of our favorites at Life with You podcast, and we're so happy to have her back. Miss McKenna, please introduce yourself.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me back. I'm so excited to be back. I'm McKenna. I am a certified sexologist to talk a little bit about that realm tonight. I'm also a tantrika, which dabbles within that realm, and I am a licensed massage therapist and a Reiki practitioner and more. So I do quite a few things, but I love that sexology field, and we're going to talk about sex tonight.
Yes, y'all love talking about sex. Y'all love spicy episodes, and we're gonna get into it. All right, it's gonna be a little educational, but more so, a lot of motherfucking fun. I have quizzes for us to take. I don't think I ever took like a quiz to figure out what attachment style I am. But just for reference, and everybody who is here watching, be sure to tap into the comments, the live chat as well. We have that call-in feature. If you have a question for Miss McKenna or want to talk to any of us about tonight's topic, be sure to use the guide in the description for the video and share the episode and subscribe. We're almost at 200 subscribers, y'all. We got 4 more. Not good at math, but we just need 4 more. 196 out of 200. That's 4. All right. Attachment styles. I want to get into it. McKenna, you mentioned that this is something in your field that people have been asking a lot about. Has it been like in the past couple months, or like when did you start noticing the trend?
So honestly, I would say that I notice it, yeah, like probably like around the holidays.
Mm,
I had a few like people mention it and be like, is this affecting my relationship and this and that.
mm.
I mean, of course it is. Every pattern, if you will, is gonna show up in a relationship. So
Yeah. Yeah. And I've been seeing a lot of stories for some reason here lately on TikTok of women specifically crashing out. And everyone seems to like to say that it's due to the word being digmatized. Have y'all heard of that before?
you say
Being digmatized?
dickmatized?
Yeah, digmatized, girl.
Okay.
Digmatized. Have y'all heard that?
This is my first time.
McKenna. JR, have you heard that?
Yeah, I heard that. I don't like it.
What JR, what's your definition of digmatized?
When a man does exactly what I tell him not to do, which is give a woman very, very good sexual favors, and she is now stuck on the intimacy through sex with that man at a very estranged
Mm.
way. In a very,
Yeah. And unfortunately, it seems to happen when there's like the person who laid the pipe down so good, the person who has stigmatized you in question, it normally comes behind it being like they don't really want you like that, or they're not spending as much time, kind of like a one hit a quitter type thing, or it was supposed to be a situationship, and now they got you, now you all in love and stuff because the sex was so good. So they call it being stigmatized.
and
Do you think
lust.
that that's possible, McKenna, to like become obsessed with someone just based off of that sexual chemistry alone?
Yes, I do.
Oh.
100%. This is so funny. I actually talked to a friend about this week. So,
Did you?
yes, this is real. And I would say even on the opposite side. So I actually also talked to a male friend that had a female provide this experience for him that he's never had
Mm.
with a woman before. And he told me that it caused like an attachment bond. So I
Damn.
absolutely like stigmatized. I'm gonna absolutely steal that word. And I
Yes.
do think that it is a thing. And
Mm-hmm.
we really romanticize like when someone really hits our heart space, at least for women, like I guess in this sense, we're kind of talking about that male to women. Women get hit through their emotions. So if that
Mm-hmm.
happens during sex and the emotions are fulfilled, that's not stigmatized. Typically
Yeah.
tends to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And
Ew.
I.
for males, I would say it's kind of like the same thing. Like, oftentimes they don't really look at it as an emotional component.
Mm-hmm.
I say that as like a broad aspect that definitely doesn't cover all males.
Yeah.
Um, but again, then like my friend this week that we had this conversation, he was like, I've never had that experience with a woman before, and it totally bonded them for a few months. And
Oh
even though he
Mm.
man.
knew that she wasn't like great,
Mm-hmm.
they were attached to each other because of that sexual experience.
So many times, I feel like too, and I want to say this for the ladies. I'm sticking up for the ladies. Also, for those of you who are watching, be sure to tap into the comments, ladies. I want your input on this, especially since we're talking about being stigmatized. I really feel like it. I don't. You know what? I don't know. I don't know why it happens to us. Because a lot of times we know the person isn't interested fully, not for like a commitment. But sometimes it just be so good. Like I don't think Jr. As a man, have you ever cried during or immediately after sex?
No. Hell
Do you
no.
not
I'm
even
so
if you
sorry.
really
Look
and
at his face.
What?
he's like fuck no. You've never shed a tear because the coochie is so good, the bond is so good.
Oh, because of that?
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
Let
McKenna,
Now,
me
have
go on there for
you?
a
I
second.
have
I
cried because she stayed.
absolutely have. I absolutely have. And when I cry in sex, and I've told my most recent partner this, like if I cry during sex, like it is not a bad thing. It means that I am there. Like you have fully immersed me in an open experience, and I
Mhm.
am just in surrender mode.
Yeah.
And to speak for males not like JR, I have also been with males that have had that experience that even during sex that they
Ooh.
have cried or shed tears with me or like immediately after. So it does happen even with a male perspective.
And you call them a man still?
Absolutely. It's even more manly and sexier to me that they can sit and be in their feelings in front of
Yeah.
me and own it and embody it and take care of me right just like a man. Does that
Mhm.
make sense?
Mhm.
Nope.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. I definitely have cried. And when I feel that emotion coming, especially if like it's not like an established situation, I'm like, "Oh shit, it's happened. I'm digmatized." And once you get digmatized, ladies, it's hard to get undigmatized. So if you've ever been digmatized, be sure to tap in to the comments below. Or if you've ever been stuck on a female, because that happens too, be sure to drop it in the comments below. Why are you making that face, JR? I feel like it's because we all know JR's shtick, right? 5 minutes, two positions. It ain't much love making, so it's not really a bond at that point. So I feel like that's why you can't relate because you're not making love to these women. You got to make love to them to feel it.
Why would I need to make love to a woman for?
Why not? You actually, I would assume that you would want to actually enjoy the women that you sleep with.
I
I'm
do.
curious, JR, what do you love in this world? Like, name 5 things, the 5 top things that you love in this world. I'm genuinely
For real.
curious.
For real.
Oh, this is tough actually. Top 5 things. My children. Can I make each one of them individually?
Okay, I'll give it to you.
Well, then that's 9. That's 9 things already. So there you go. That
Okay.
was quick. Almost had a 10. Almost had a top 10.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
I should have said 10, but you know what is like so often the time, like, or when I ask people that question, almost never do you hear myself.
Yeah.
You love yourself. And it's
Yeah.
like, of course, you're not making love to these women because you're not making love to yourself ever.
I make love to myself every single night.
Speaking of, do we remember what McKenna's homework was for you, JR?
Yes,
Yeah,
and
what
I
is
failed.
you're saying you make love to yourself every night. How did you make love to yourself?
Well,
What
for
does that
one,
look like for you?
I take a very nice shower, right? Clean my body. I nurture myself with good food. Understand what I'm saying? And then I make sure I get a good night's sleep.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
that's
love.
totally fair. That is love. That is love.
Boo,
I won't.
tomato, tomato, tomato. That's a cop out. You know what your homework was. All of us
Yeah.
had home. Well, no, actually, she said to explore ourselves without making it sexual. So I guess that was, I guess you did pass.
Ooh, well, well, well.
But also, I guess because you're not. What the homework was, though, was to be intimate. And so, like, is that as far as your intimacy goes with yourself? To
Yeah.
provide yourself the needs? Because what I think I'm hearing is that you give yourself the basic human needs, and I didn't even hear the emotional need being met there. I
So,
didn't hear that you had a conversation at the end of the day with someone. I didn't hear that you journaled with yourself or something. Like, where is that portion as well?
so after I got out the shower, I didn't know if it was a tear or the water, but I thought it was a tear. So to me, that's
All
close
right.
enough.
It's
Wow.
almost there. We'll
It's
see.
almost
Maybe
there.
it'll start to shift. Just keep getting curious, you know?
Wow.
What I think I'm hearing, even from yourself, you kind of have that avoidant attachment style. You even avoid really deep connection with yourself.
I don't.
Yeah.
I get so deep with myself. Wait, hold on.
Pause.
That like it's. I haven't reached the bottom. You know. Like I get real deep. I talk to myself because I really can't find people like intellectually adept that way to talk to. So I have to literally look in a mirror and talk to myself to have real deep conversations. So yeah, I get real deep into my soul and my psyche, how I'm feeling. I ask myself, how do you feel about this? When you see
Love
this,
that.
what are you doing? Where do you want to go? I do it. I put in the work. I put in the work.
I love that. Okay. No, hey, listen, mirror work is some of the most powerful
That's
work
true.
there is. Mm-hmm.
That's very true. I do want to tap in with the comments really quickly. Heather was our guest Tuesday night. Welcome in, Mama. She said, "Love to see him all on the camera." Yeah, call his ass out. Call his ass out because he didn't want to be on Tuesday's episode. He refused to come on Tuesday's episode, and now he showed up tonight in a snuggie.
It was my
He real
birthday.
comfy.
I was gonna say, I love it. It's such a vibe.
It
Yeah.
makes my it's self love. G, this is self love.
Yeah.
Instead of
I
just
hear you.
hugging myself, I bought this to hug all over me.
Heather, if you're still here, and thank you so much for tapping into the comments, I want to hear from the ladies. Have you ever been dickmatized? I don't know if you heard that question earlier, but that's a question for the night. Have you been dickmatized? You
I don't
know what?
understand why
And it
that is a
might be
thing.
that might have to do with an attachment style. Do you feel like the concept of being overly obsessed just over the physical alone has to do with your attachment style?
No.
So, yes and no.
Okay.
Um, I would say like the romanticizing, when you're hearing digmatize, you're hearing romanticize in it as
Mm.
well.
Mhm,
And
mhm,
so what I think I'm hearing is like more of that anxious attachment that comes with it. So when
mhm,
you're in that anxious attachment mode, you're looking for like more of that reassurance. And so maybe even like this is like the best bomb sex you've ever had, but for that other partner, it's not like it's not that feeling. But for you, you feel you're like your emotional needs are getting met and your physical needs are getting met. So you like are like, oh, this is cloud nine for me. This is great. And the other person, say maybe they're more of that opposite and that avoidant style. So they're looking at it as like much more transactional, if you will.
mhm,
And
mhm.
so they show up and they're like, cool, played my part. I'm done now, whatever. And in your head, you're like, that was so amazing. Bye. I can't wait till next time. And they're like, I don't even know if there'll be a next
Sure
time, but
won't
I'll
be.
catch you later.
Mm. I feel like that's JR. I feel like you just what was that?
Yes.
The avoided
And
attachment?
avoid it. Yes.
Ooh, JR, you avoiding shit?
Look, it took only one time for a woman to pop both of my tires on the same side to realize what I was doing was wrong. And I had to fix my ways. And
Have you?
I think it's manipulating women. I think purposely making
Oh.
them digmatized is a form of manipulation, and I refuse to do it.
I'm sorry, but all the ways that men manipulate women, if that's how you want to manipulate me, baby, go right ahead. I'll take that manipulation over the other shit y'all be doing.
Yeah, if
Manipulate
you
me with
like
that dick.
him, but if you don't like him, I'm pretty sure you don't want to be manipulated by him like that.
If I don't like him, he ain't getting in my drawers.
Yeah, tell that to all the other women.
That's a
I
hard say because I mean, as a man, definitely I do know, like as JR is saying, like
mhm,
men know that they have that capability.
mhm,
And like we were just talking about, like kind of that anxious and that avoidant style end up going together because opposites
mhm,
end up attracting. And so the avoidant shows up because they know that the anxious one will. They do that
See?
because they know that they will. It's like I'm gonna be honest. I was absolutely a fearful avoidant attachment style for a very long time, and so I was someone that had multiple partners in my
mhm.
back pocket, and a lot of them were anxious attachment styles. They just like wanted love and my affection and my time, but I only really was like in it for when it was in it for me. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. How to Human Properly is here. Hi, thank you for tapping into the comments. This is a good one, especially for the fellas. Y'all need to know how y'all laying pipe down and what it can do to a woman's psyche, and vice versa. Because I think some of y'all get caught up by good coochie or the experience being so good. Sometimes y'all don't know how to act. That's the thing.
Sometimes we
I
be
think that a
lying.
lot of people. Okay, that's what I was just gonna say is that a lot of the times that people don't really mean what they say. That's like another miscommunication is a huge
Hmm.
portion of it. Of again, the that avoidant style will are typically the people that will tell you what you want to hear
Mm,
because that will supply their in that moment. And then when they're done, they're like, bye. But you're still kind of like wanting more of that affection. You don't have like that
right,
closure on conversation or experience or whatever it may be.
right. I get that.
Pipe down. And both ways. Pipe her down, make sure she pipe down, and then make sure I dip out.
That's a Drake
Respectfully
song.
though.
That's a Drake song.
Is it?
How did Human properly said, yeah, he's like, how deep I gotta dig for you to pipe down. He's like, how good I gotta fuck you to get you to calm down, girl.
Nah,
That's what his
he
song
pipe
is
down
about.
means shut up. Don't try to G rate it. You know he
To
meant
calm
shut up.
down. It's not a G rated.
He
You know what?
said
Drake is
pipe
a
down.
lover. Drake is a lover. I'm sure he's trying to calm her down, not shut her the fuck
Drake
up
believes in the
only. Like
same
he's trying
stuff
to
I
calm her
believe in,
down.
G.
Have you talked to Drake? Have you and him had a one-on-one conference and you know exactly why? Drake is a cry baby. Love you, Drake, but he makes a song for every girl he done slept with. What type of attachment style do you think Drake is? If you making a love song and a diss track for every girl you done slept with,
I'm gonna give you two
He's
lyrics. Two.
he's disorganized
thank
attachment
you.
style. So he's both.
McKenna, I want you to think about
What?
this right here. Tell me what this
Okay.
means to you.
Oh,
Okay.
here we go with the lyrics.
Ghostface killer. Man, I'm the man. I don't want to say the N word right now, right? Ghostface
Okay.
killer. Man, I'm the man. I sent your girl a number. Told her, see her when I can. She sent me one back, but I ain't even read it. Cause coochie only coochie and I get it when I need it. What that mean?
That line is an avoidance style for sure.
Thank you.
Someone that wants to put it in the back pocket and be like, all right, when I'm ready to be served, who's going to be on deck to serve me?
Exact. Okay. Now number two. She can have a Grammy. I still treat her ass like a nominee. I just need to know what that coochie like. So one time is fine with me.
So also that's definitely avoidant, but it's a little bit anxious avoidant because the beginning of wanting to downplay their status and still want to have that connection.
Mm.
Or like try it out at least.
Mm-hmm. See, that's what I'm saying. He's saying, I don't care who you are. I'm going to bring you down to the level I think you are. And if you don't like it after I smash, cool, because one time it's fine with me. That's all I'm saying.
Wow,
Drake said
but
the same thing I say.
you selected the lyrics that where he's talking his shit, but he does have a bunch of songs where he's damn near crying on the fucking track
We
to
literally
these
seen
women.
him cry on the song.
Literally. So he's definitely disorganized. So now that brings up a good point. Now that we have a couple more people in here watching all that good stuff, I want us to see like what attachment style we are. If you don't already know, we can go through a little thing if you guys want to figure it out. Otherwise, I can post it in like a post or something afterwards, and y'all let us know. But
Is
there
it
is what?
is detachment a detachment style?
It's
I don't.
avoidant.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
But like
So
detachment is more like avoidant.
yeah. So the ones that they mention on here, at least, and McKenna, if there's any more, definitely add it. Or if something sounds off, let me know. So there's secure attachment, which means you're comfortable with intimacy and trust in relationships. There's anxious attachment, which means you crave closeness but may overthink and need reassurance. Avoidant attachment, you prioritize independence and tend to keep emotional distance. JR. And then there's disorganized, which Drake probably is, which is you want intimacy but fear it, leading to mixed signals. This is also referred to as fearful avoidant attachment. Is there any other attachments? Or is it like,
No,
okay.
like you said, like that fearful part, like there's like some things that we just like now categorize with the things, but personally for me, you start to notice like opposites attract, and you'll start to notice that like some parts of you are one attachment style, but then there's some small parts of you that are another attachment style. So you kind of
Yeah.
bounce back and forth sometimes.
And I think we lie to ourselves sometimes too. Like I know a lot of times we're like super critical, but when it's something negative, we tend to, especially with relationships, we tend to put ourselves sometimes higher than what we may actually be on the scale. So like I think that I'm amazing, like just the bee's knees. Part of that is being a Leo and shit, right? But I've been doing therapy with Lauren. She's one of our guests that came on. She does mindfulness. So I've been doing mindfulness therapy, and I'm like going through my homework, right? And she's like, okay, we're supposed to be working on avoidant behavior. And I don't even remember her saying that. I don't even remember her telling me that I had avoidant behavior. So there's number one, there's a clue. And then the second part was, I was like, well, no, like I think I'm fine. And I went into like how I've handled things recently. And she was just really quiet. She was like, okay, so that's avoidant. That is definitely an avoidant behavior. And I'm like, damn, I really feel like I'm not avoidant. So I thought it was really neat that there's tons of different like more detailed quizzes that y'all can take online and stuff like that. But JR, do you know your attachment style?
Yeah,
For
I'm
sure.
unorganized.
You're unorganized.
Yeah.
Really? You want intimacy, but you fear it? Because the way you talk, it makes it. Well, I guess that's the fear.
I could
Damn,
see
buddy.
it being a disorganized.
I know myself,
Damn,
G.
friend.
I know who I am as a person. And I do know that intimacy is very beautiful. I love falling in love. I love it. I
Mm.
think it's all beautiful. But I'm also the other one too, which is whatever the third one was, the independent ass motherfucker. That's me too.
Well,
But
I
it
mean, it's both, right? It because disorganized includes the avoidance, so
exactly.
that
So
makes
I'm
sense.
it's like both. But I'm it's not that I fear anything in that realm. It's just sometimes I really really want intimacy, and then the second I get it, I no longer want you to talk around me.
Mm.
Sometimes it's a weird thing. I'm a little weird.
That's post nut clarity. Does okay? So the phenomenon of post nut clarity, McKenna, does that have to do with attachment styles?
Mm, not necessarily, but I guess maybe a little bit, right? So
Yeah.
when like a man is desiring to have like release, his hormones are a little bit, his energy is a little bit higher, his like testosterone is a little bit higher, and so after having that release, definitely realizing maybe that that's not like what they want could fall into that
Hmm.
attachment of like as soon as that testosterone gets hyped up, they look at it as like they think it's them wanting intimacy.
Hmm.
And then once they get that, realizing like, oh yeah, no, I'm cool, or that wasn't the person for me, or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So yes and no.
Dang.
It can end up playing into a pattern for sure.
Yeah. I think so. Well, damn, Jr. You know me. You know my life. You know my stories. Which attachment style do you think I have?
Mm.
I won't get offended.
Oh, I wouldn't.
Maybe.
I would not have cared. What's the first two
No
again?
shit. I can tell you I'm not secure,
Anxious?
but yeah, secure, anxious, avoidant, or disorganized. I'm definitely not secure. Girl, a
What's
little
the?
thrown off.
Explain the anxious one more time.
You crave
It's
closeness, but may overthink and need reassurance.
Yep.
often jealous and things like that
Yep.
in those types of relationships.
That's
Yep.
not me.
100.
That's not
That's
me.
her.
That's not me.
They need to add a
I
little
have
bit more, but
evidence to be jealous. I have evidence to be jealous. I don't
ah,
get
there we
jealous until
go.
I see the proof to get jealous.
It's a UG. Sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know if you
I
liked it or
can't be
not.
a combo. I think I'm a combo. I don't
Of
know if that
what?
helps me
Combo of what?
or hurts me.
I think a combo is like being able to recognize it is helpful, first of
Hmm.
all, and you know how it is to be on both sides.
Yeah.
So that like helps with your awareness more
Yeah.
to getting to a secure place.
She ain't no
I think.
combo. Mm-mm.
Well, I do. Okay, but hear me out though. I feel like with my platonic friendships, because attachment styles goes to anything in your life. I feel like for the most part, but like I feel like I have secure attachment with my platonic friendships.
Like
I feel like
I
I
who?
love that
do.
you brought that up. I love that
What do
you
you?
brought that up because we
Thank
always think
you.
of it just in like our sex relationships. But I have had such terrible avoidant friendships that like we are
Really?
so super toxic for each other. We come at each other like a million miles a minute and we think it's
Yeah.
great and we're like riding this high together and then immediately it's just like crash and
Yeah.
burn after, you know?
And it's tough, especially with girls and emotions and stuff. Well, Jr., you said who? Like you ain't never seen me be secure in any of my friendships. I got a few secure friendships. I like the people I'm closest with. Like it is, I have a secure attachment. I can do that with platonic people. Now, if I feel like it's romantic, there's more risks involved. So that's where the fear taps in. That's where the overthinking comes in, and all of that stuff. Because romantically, I'm putting more pressure on you than I am just a homegirl.
Absolutely. And like you just said, the overthinking is that anxious part, and then that
Hmm.
fearful is that avoidance. So
Hmm.
definitely, I would say the more disorganized is probably what you'd identify
Yeah.
with.
Nope,
Yeah.
it's anxious. Letting you know, no
It's.
combos. Nope, this
I
ain't
think
no
it.
Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's. This no combos over here. None of
But I
that.
think the fear leads to the anxiousness, which then leads to overthinking and needing reassurance, and then can give mixed signals.
100%
And it
just
also
you.
depends on who I'm fucking with at the time. Like I've had talking phases or relationships where I felt more of an anxious attachment, and then other ones for whatever reason it was very disorganized. It wasn't that I was unattracted to them. It wasn't that they weren't good men by whatever standard that is, however you want to rate it. But I mean, all in all, they were really good options, and I was disorganized as fuck. It was almost like them being good to me made me be like I had black cat energy almost. Like I was like, yeah, but like don't come near me though. So I don't know. I don't know.
When
Nope.
we are like, again, opposites attract, right? So
Mhm.
avoidant and anxious tend to go together. And then, like, when we're in that disorganized state, whatever, like, whoever we're is our partner at the time is kind of like mirroring that. So they might also be
Mhm.
disorganized. And then they're like, just you're constantly working on opposite times. So when they need something, they're looking for you to serve. And then like you're looking for an emotional part and then all of a sudden it'll switch, but like you're
Mhm.
never quite on the same page.
Yeah. And
Or you are sometimes and then that continues to kind of like what keeps that connection going,
mhm.
even though there is like a lot of like bumping.
Yeah.
Nah, she's anxious. It's all right. I feel you. You try to let her down real soft and smooth.
I'm a mixed
You
bag.
anxious.
I'm a mixed bag.
Girl, you
But
anxious
yeah,
as
I think
hell.
I'm anxious about so many things.
As hell.
But I also feel like that's for a different episode. We'll get into that because that kind of goes into like women's intuition as well. I'll tell you this: I ain't never had like anxiety over someone who wasn't doing some shit that they said that they wasn't gonna do. I'll say that much. I get anxious when I feel like an energy shift. I get anxious when the pattern breaks. Is that necessarily fair to the person? Not really, because it doesn't allow them to be human. Because I'm picking up on every little thing, and I'm like, what's this? But every time a man's like, man, just relax, calm down, you overthinking it. That's the one, ladies. That's the one that you got to really watch out for.
Sounds a little anxious.
But I haven't been wrong though.
Still sounds a
I
little
definitely
anxious.
I definitely agree with like, yeah, it's still like women's intuition, and then you're
Mm-hmm.
typically attracting that avoidance. So they know that they're lying to you when they're saying,
Mm-hmm.
hey, just relax, this, and that. And maybe, yeah, you're that disorganized one. So when we are that disorganized, we're also wanting to be good to ourselves sometimes. We're trying to be secure sometimes. Like
Mm-hmm.
typically when we're in that disorganized phase, we have a little bit of them all, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
we're trying to be in that secure phase. So it's like when you're trying to get clarity, then we start moving into like more of that anxious phase when we feel like we're kind of getting lied to and things like that. And when we've had so many patterns happen like that,
Mm-hmm.
it's just something that kind of comes naturally, putting you in that more anxious attachment style, I guess. But really, what you're doing is just like trying to find clarity, and like it takes the right person in the right attachment style, also, and like truth within themselves. There's so many of us that are lying to ourselves. Like, so many people really do believe what they're saying, that they are secure and that they
Mm.
like X, Y, and Z, whatever it may be about themselves.
Yeah, that's true. A lot. Yeah, they have a like a warped perception of themselves. Jr., do you feel like you might have a warped perception of yourself sometimes, or you're
No.
just like immune to that? Of course.
What do you want me to? I do a lot of work on myself, G. Okay,
Do you?
a whole lot, too much, honestly. And because I do, I don't have those. Now I understand people who do, and you know what? Like I said, I commend you. It's Thursday. You're loved. But damn it, figure out who you are. I went through that process and I loved it. Honestly, it was a great process. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, shit. McKenna, is there any like kind of like how zodiac signs are, right? We know
oh
certain
God,
signs are compatible with other signs.
oh
I'm
God.
curious, are there certain attachment styles that is just like no fly zone? Like you probably, if you figure out your partner is this and you're this, you probably should not move forward.
Oh, I wouldn't say necessarily a no-fly zone, like with attachment styles. Really, it takes the people. Like for me, I know that I can, even now, like with my tools, I still follow into those traumas and triggers and like start to embody that anxious or that avoidant. And it takes the right partner to have that communication with. Like,
Mhm.
even if they're the opposite of you, that doesn't necessarily mean 100% no fly zone,
Yep.
but does if they're not committed to the mission of you both, right?
Hmm.
Mm,
So in any relationship, it requires a lot of forgiveness. And so typically, yeah, we do kind of attract oppositely. And so we end up doing those traumas and triggers for each other. And
Yeah.
I want to point out too, like, that's not a bad thing. Like, that's what relationships are here for. Like, we
Mhm.
are here to mirror each other. Part of being a human is just being, but understanding of who you are is also part of
Yeah.
just being, you know? And so
That's
that
very
happens
true.
in relationships. And so I think that it's not necessarily a no fly zone, but definitely if you know that you are an opposite, to totally be like having transparency is key. Otherwise, if you know that you're an avoidant attachment style and you are not committed to like whatever it is long term, that's a no fly zone.
Hmm.
If like typically that's like another
damn.
commitment is huge. And often the anxious wants commitment and the
Hmm.
avoidant is 100% not about it. And so that's where you have to like look deep into both of yourselves and know that this might be who you are, but is it who you want to be? And are you
Hmm.
willing to work with each other to get there?
Hell no, I'm not.
Most people
Why?
aren't. I'm just being honest. Like, most people aren't. And again, with the like,
Hmm.
we will look ourselves in the mirror and be like, yeah, I'm going to become that person. I'm going to be this partner for you. But when it comes time to show up, it just doesn't happen. And yes, it is in a sense lying to ourselves. Sometimes people just don't have the right tools to know how to help themselves and help the
Facts.
relationship either. So definitely it becomes hard because like, are you guys actually on the same wave and really in the same motion, or does it sound good to one of you and so you both are trying to be on the same wave and same motion?
Mm.
Never.
I would.
Never.
What?
Well, I'm not about to sit out there and put in extra hard work and more work and stuff like that. I'm not doing it. You
Relationships are work. Like, that is the first thing that I tell clients,
Mm-hmm.
especially if they're couple clients or they're like coming for relationships, is relationships take work, and that means even work with yourself. You're telling me when you're doing all that mirror work and you're looking at yourself and you're asking yourself those questions, that's not work?
no, it's actually if you do something that you love to do, you never have to work a day in your life. It's not
Oh
work because I love
God,
to do it.
semantics, semantics.
How's that
You doing the little
semantics?
cop outs? It's semantics. That's semantics. That's
Gee,
still work.
Mhm.
Even if you love to do it, it's still work. You're still taking time to work on yourself, which is what
Energy,
people need to
effort.
do. Self
okay, so
Yes.
awareness is important.
if you're saying it's work, cool, I get that. But you, is it supposed to be equivalent to like hard work, or is it supposed to be equivalent to just you're just putting in effort at all?
Just effort. I feel like.
Oh well, then if that's the
Effort.
case, everything's work and cool. Then everything is nothing and nothing's everything. Cool. Then I'm with that.
How the fuck did you? Ooh, he the Grinch today. I don't like it
I'm
when you
just
hear
saying
this,
it's
nigga.
like
You a
saying everybody's
Grinch.
special. If you say everybody's special, then technically nothing's special, so it's cool.
No, that's not basura. Anyways, have you guys ever played? This says flirt, marry, ghost, but I want to make it F, marry, or ghost since we're talking about attachment styles and sex. So, Mama, if you're watching, I apologize. I am gonna cuss because it says fuck, marry, or ghost. Have y'all played that before?
Of
Yeah.
course.
I think like it's F Mary or AIL, but we can't say that on YouTube. Anyways, okay, but this is the attachment style edition. So McKenna, I want you to answer
I love
first,
it.
and then I'll go to
Okay.
JR. Are you ready?
Okay,
Y'all
I'm
tap it
ready.
in the comments as well. Let us know. Okay, so in our first round of fuck, marry, or ghost attachment style edition, we have McKenna. Person A texts you 24/7, but freaks out if you don't respond. It's an anxious. Person B has great chemistry with you, but disappears for days. Person C communicates, cuddles, and remembers your coffee order. Aw. Who are you effing,
Okay.
marrying, and ghosting?
So definitely marrying person C
Mm-hmm.
and definitely having sex with person B.
Mm.
And we're just gotta let person A go.
Yeah. Yeah. JR,
Tell me
what's your
person A
response?
and B again.
Person A texts you 24/7 but freaks out if you don't respond. Person B has great chemistry with you but disappears for days.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to marry. I think I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna have to smash person A, and then I think I'm gonna have to marry person B and ghost person C. That's
Walk
probably
me
what it
through that
is.
thought process because McKenna's choice made sense to me. And for those of you who are listening, I feel like it made sense to you as well. A lot of y'all would probably go with that. But JR, walk me through how you made your decisions. What did you say person A was? You would
Smash.
smash person A?
Gotta
You
smash
would
person
one
A.
nighter, one hitter quitter.
Yeah,
Okay. Why?
because she's probably a lot of fun. That toxic shit. Yeah, she's probably like hella fun. She's probably hella fun. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely down with that, and that's kind of my D plus like certified. So that way, I really want to see if she really gonna be like that after I give her only D plus and see how that really work out. You know what I'm saying? And I like that kind of attention. You toxic, and you give me all that kind of attention. Oh yeah, I'll definitely smash. Type shit. Yeah. Person B, I said I had to marry because like we together and then she can go away. You know what I'm saying? Like go away. I like that you're gone. Go away.
I
Which
knew
is
you were gonna pick that. I'm not
yeah.
surprised that you're saying that at all.
Go just bye, deuce. Come back
That's
whenever I'm
crazy.
ready. You know what I'm saying? And then person C is just she normal. You know what I mean? I ghost that quick. Hit me. Can we go on
Damn.
a coffee date? No. No, we can't. Yeah.
Damn. Damn. I feel like if I were to answer in the way of like how I feel like I should answer or how I feel like I think I am, then I would probably answer exactly how McKenna answered. But I'm going to do a twist on it for y'all, a little special remix. And I'm going to answer how my dating history has actually been. Okay.
Mm.
So text 24/7, but freaks out if you don't respond. I'm probably gonna marry him because he's gonna give me a lot of reassurance. Okay, he always gonna be there. Anytime I call, anytime I text, you there. Has great chemistry with you, but disappears for days. I, I mean that. Yeah, I would definitely smash again and again. In person, see, in my dating history, I have absolutely ghosted the fuck out of a lot of secure attachment styles. Damn. Oh my god.
Sure does sound like somebody's anxious. Whatever
Okay,
though.
but in
You know?
all fairness, I definitely G like that. If I was answering like past,
Yeah.
for sure, it definitely would be a
Okay.
similar experience.
Okay. I'm saying, but
Yeah,
it's important for self awareness, right? We're learning. We're learning. When you know better, you do better.
absolutely.
Hopefully.
That was easy
Just
for
wanna
me.
Chica, welcome in. Just wanna Chica, what's up? Just who are you? Who are you fucking marrying or ghosting? That's what I want to know. I want to know what y'all would choose. She said, been reading a book called Attached lately. I'm on the dismissive avoidant type. Okay, is that which one was that one for us?
So
Dismissive
yeah, I was gonna
avoidant.
say like so like the fearful avoidant and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. Like sometimes we have like these similar characteristics that just fall under these categories, but they're the same thing, like in a sense of
Mm,
they're that avoidant attachment style.
yeah. I want to ask you, just reading and like learning more about yourself and finding out that you were the dismissive avoidant type. Was that something that you like saw for yourself? Did that make sense or was it a surprise? Because I'd be taking these quizzes and I'd be like, that's not me. And it'd be like, yes, bitch, that's you. I'd be like,
Mm.
damn.
Sure looks like somebody doesn't have a lot of self awareness.
I said, I actually am very self aware.
Mm.
No, that contradicts me. Shit. I am the avoidant, fearful shit. Anyways, okay. I have another one. I have one more round for y'all. All right. You're dating someone new, and after a few weeks, their attachment style starts showing. Who are you keeping around? The we need to talk texter, constantly checking in on how you feel. Number two, the let's just see where this goes guy or girl. They're avoidant. They keep it casual, avoid deep convos. Or the three. Number three is the hot and cold lover. Fearful avoidant. One day they're all in and the next they pull away. McKenna, who are you keeping around out of those three?
Yeah, so I would definitely say that now it would be like the first person. I'm
Mm-hmm.
the one that's like checking in to see how I'm doing. But in my past, I would probably say like the hot and cold lover is probably who I
Mm-hmm.
would typically choose.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
love it. I used to love a good toxic, like on fire, ice cold,
Yes.
on fire, ice cold, on fire,
There's a
ice cold.
dramatic effect. There's a dramatic effect. Your life is now a soap opera. And I like there's something about that I love a little bit. It makes life interesting.
What's the middle one again?
Let's just see where this goes. Keeps it casual, avoid deep combo. Avoids deep combos. Is that what you're doing? That's the one you're choosing? I feel like every guy would choose that. Pretty much. Most men would choose that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Sounds like she is quiet. Sounds like she's not really there for the commitment.
Mm.
Yeah. Sounds like, you know what I'm saying? Sounds like a valuable woman.
I feel like when I meet an avoidant, I go harder for them. Like I fall in love so fast with an avoidant versus the other one. Then I really just don't. I just don't care
People want what they
as
can't have
much.
sometimes. It is what it
I'd
is.
be
I
like,
was gonna say, you know that they're
you're rushing
there,
me.
so it's less
Yeah,
like enticing and intriguing sometimes.
that's true.
Mm-mm.
Damn.
I like it. Be quiet,
I
pipe
feel like
down. Pipe down and pipe down.
I feel like in this phase of my life, if I were to, be talking to someone new, then I would be looking for the let's just see where this goes person, honestly. Because the hot
That's
and cold be
fair.
stressing me out. Hot and cold be stressing me out. Can we just be consistent? Can we just be cool? I just want consistent.
It's good to know where you are in your life too. Like you said, like,
Yeah.
I mean, you don't, it's that's a very secure place to be of knowing,
Hmm.
like, not being or sitting in the unknown.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
So I
Hmm.
want to kind of dive into the correlation with the attachment style and sex specifically. We know it can affect like how we have feelings behind someone, if we get stigmatized or not. But can someone's attachment style make them a better or worse partner in the bedroom? Do you think it has any correlation with how good they are in bed?
That's kind of a hard question because I think it goes with the partner as well,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and like everyone's got their own scale of like what is good.
Mm-hmm.
So, an avoidant attachment style, um, might be maybe a little bit more dominant, kinky, a little bit more of that like fire attitude, a little bit of
Mm-hmm.
an aggressor. And that might like ignite an anxious attachment style up inside because they have
Mm.
a lot of energy being penetrated at them. So it's even beyond like a physical, but they're feeling a lot of energetic and emotional attachment too.
You say energy being
So
what?
Penetrated.
energetically penetrated.
Yes.
Yes.
That's when you
And
know you digmatized, when it's penetrating the energy like that. It's just you can't. You just
that's really when it is happening. That's what
for
it's
real.
becoming full circle. It's not just that physical. And so to
Mm-hmm.
that anxious person, that avoidant person might be like the best in bed ever. But
Mm.
maybe it's like or like vice versa. Maybe it's the anxious that's embodying that dominant and so the avoidant is like finally experiencing um okay, great intensity and then being left alone and that's kind of what they want, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so oftentimes like especially in sexual experiences again with those opposite types, we have those hot and cold relationships.
Yeah.
Avoidant is like, hey, come over, and that anxious is like ignited and can't wait for it. It's super passionate and super great, and then it's like, all right, so you should head out now. And then it's just like completely cold again. And then it turns into like the worst sex experience for that anxious person, but maybe it was the best experience for that avoidant. So
Mm.
that's definitely like a hard say because like does it make them better in bed? It could just because of like mentally what you're end up experiencing from like what you're feeling from the sexual experiences together. But also then I'm sure like people that are in those opposite relationships or opposite attachment styles, when they move into a secure attachment style relationship, they realize like, oh, that was actually some of the most toxic sex that I had been having. But in their
Mm-hmm.
head at that time, it was like some of the most igniting and passionate sex that they've ever had, maybe.
Mm. I don't. I don't know. Everything you're saying makes sense, and I guess it would just be like the perfect storm. Me personally, I would not want to knowingly sleep with a fearful avoidant. I feel like that's where that like post night clarity comes in. That's where that like if you hot and cold and I'm being intimate with you in that way, that's even more of like a slap in my face. Me personally, I take that as rejection. And if I'm being that intimate with you, that rejection stings that much more. I don't like that. Um, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like in my mind, the best lover would be the anxious one because you really trying to show out. You really trying to like make sure that I know how much you like me. So I
They're
feel like the
always
anxious
trying to
attachment,
serve.
yeah, like they're a pleaser. So
Mhm.
I like that.
Yeah. Definitely, I would say, I guess if you're like looking for one of the best lovers, they can be because they they really are like always in your best interest.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I feel like more people, well, not be anxious, but more people should look to when they're having that interaction, make it a pleasurable experience. Focus on your partner, and then your partner focuses on you, and then wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Absolutely. I think a lot of the times too, though, we both get into like serving each other at the same time and
Mm-hmm,
learning how like someone should receive, when to serve and when to receive. Because if
mm-hmm.
we're both just serving each other, then like who's really getting the enjoyment here, you
That's
know?
true.
And by all means, like some people, like that is like where their pleasure comes from, is like giving.
Yeah,
But it is so important, just as much as you give, to be receiving as well. It's all
yeah.
about within balance.
See, JR.
What?
See what I'm talking about? Those who are watching, let us know in the comments which one of these attachment styles you think would be the best in bed.
I was gonna say, I guess like technically though, like a secure attachment style is best because you're able to have those open conversations and have that vulnerability and get curious with each other, get playful. Those are the
Mm,
relationships that really push the boundaries and really
yes, it is.
reset people's boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the relationships that people walk out of and they're like, "Oh, I did not know I liked X, Y, and Z," and now it's one of those things that I die for, you know?
Mm,
Speaking
I
of,
like that.
so I
What?
got this chick.
Oh God. Hi,
Had
Bailey.
I ghosted her because, and I'm not here to kink shame, but she definitely wanted to experience, or she was experienced in something and she wanted me to experience it with her. She was in like those, those dark novels where, the woman gets chased.
Mm.
She was like one of those types, and she wanted me to experience that with her. Me personally,
And that
I'm no.
Yeah, and that wasn't really your gig. That's totally okay and fair. Like I also work within the kink and BDSM field, and that's what a lot of times when I'm working with these people, they have people that they're kind of attached to already. They want these people to be their kink partners. They want them to be their play partners and be in these settings with them in these scenes. But you can't make another person be ready or like the same things that you like. And so sometimes, like, yeah, when you're in the kink and BDSM field, I also like working with couples. Like, you have to redefine boundaries. If that partner in the coupleship doesn't want to do those kink things, but you guys want to be together, you have to learn those communications and communicate your boundaries of what that person can go do with other people to like fulfill that need or that desire, and then come back and not like have it be a dwelling issue, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
that's super common, like all the time, and a lot of kinksters, as we call them, want they already have these attachment styles. So like that's a hard portion for them to kind of have that radical acceptance of like not everyone's into what you're into. And
Mm,
there are
Huh.
some people that are willing to hold the space even though they're not into it. And there's some people that are just like, it's not them. And no one should be doing what doesn't feel within alignment with them within the bedroom or any like pleasure situation in that space.
I think I have a
that-
ghost kink.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I like when she like ghosts me right afterwards. It's like I think that's my thing. I like
JR.
think that's my thing. I'm a
So,
That's totally a thing. Like, okay, that's that anxious, like, kind of that, like, it's
mm,
your avoidant, but you love when they come back. So
no,
that's
no, no.
that
Don't come back.
anxious, that,
Don't come back.
and the disorganized that, like, wants.
Oh, so I'm a
But you
lot.
already enjoyed it a little bit.
Oh yeah,
So
no,
you
I'm
do,
he's
like,
I'm
end up
ridiculous.
thinking
Oh my
about
God.
it.
No, it's like I
You love
enjoy
having
it
that reassurance from her
to
in
leave.
that being
Yes.
there, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so
So
that's
I do.
anxious. You like that reassurance that's there. And then the avoidant
But
comes
is it
in and
really
is like,
reassurance if
okay,
she's not reassuring me? Like she's not telling me anything. She just leaves. She's not like I mean, I guess it's technically give me what I want, but I think more women will be okay with
I
giving
guess,
me what I
yeah,
want in that
it's
favor.
assurance for what you want, though.
But it's I think it would be whether or not she likes me or not, I think she would do it. So if I was like, yeah, right after we're done, I love it when a woman just leaves and get out of here. She might find it disrespectful and leave and get out of here, but it's not really for me. She's doing it because she doesn't want to be around me. She might be kink shaming me, you know? So how do I know the difference between whether or not she's doing it because I love that and I think it's really sexy when they just leave, or because she just really doesn't want to be around me no more? Like, how would I be able to tell?
Well, you can't. That's why you're the disorganized attachment style and you go back and forth. But you could if you had the conversation with her, and then you would begin to move into more of a secure attachment style, which totally like being in a secure attachment style, like you can have many partnerships. Like there's a lot of polyamorous people that are in secure attachment relationships but date multiple people and love when those people leave. But then when they come back, they have that like great experience again.
Yeah, don't come back. But I do like that. I think that's my new thing. I'm calling it a ghosting kink. Not because ghost
Chicken
kink sounds
is.
like you trying to like get on with like ghost, but I'm the ghosting kink is my thing.
That's apparently a thing as well.
Exactly. So I don't want it to be misconstrued. I want everybody to understand the ghosting kink is that we're together and then you ghost me, and I'm not gonna
I want
chase. So don't worry.
you get on my nerve. Oh my god! I do want to
Don't kink
tap
shame.
into the comments. Bailey, shut up, Jr. Bailey Baffles is in the house. Hi, Bailey. She said, "Hey, yo, it's more about not me walking away with someone else's negative energy, I guess." Yeah, I get that. And CNC can be fun though. She said CNC can be fun.
What's
Not
CNC?
where the comment said, "Damn, I'm late." No, you're just in time. Keep talking. Keep talking. You just in time. Never too late for Late
Wait,
with You podcast.
what's
Don't forget to share the
CNC?
episode. Can I? What y'all was just talking about?
What does
Well,
this
she
stand
commented it
for?
when you were talking. And I'm gonna be real with you. I have a confession. I'm a mother, and my kids was doing the most. It's 10 o'clock, so I didn't even hear what it was that Shorty liked that you didn't like.
Oh, cool. We
What
cool with
was
that.
it?
Now we cool on that.
Why the fuck?
Wait,
No, because
what?
I feel like I'm missing a part.
What does CNC stand for?
I don't know. She said it.
I don't. I need to know what CNC stand for because
Bailey,
whatever.
what does CNC stand for? I'm
Yeah, I need to know what that is. I need to make sure I
gonna
don't ever.
Google it.
No kink shame now.
CNC meaning.
Oh God, don't Google it, G. You can Google it.
I did Google it,
What did it
but
say?
so what I'm getting. First of all, I hate that Google does the AI overview now. Can we talk about that for just like 2 seconds?
No.
I hate it because how do you know that it's actually like what it's sourcing for real? And it says it's experimental. Like, and that's the top thing. It's suggesting it to you immediately. I don't like it. Anyways, according to AI overview, I don't think that's what she's talking about. That's a computer numerical control. I don't think that's it. And for me to maybe find it out, it looks like Urban Dictionary has a suggestion, but y'all flamed me the last time I tried to use the Urban Dictionary, so I'm not doing it.
What does it say?
Let me click it. Okay, in the BDSM community, CNC stands for consensual non-consent. Oh, okay. Also known
Oh,
as grape, because we can't say the word. Also known as grape play. Damn. Okay, got it. Yeah,
no.
that
Okay,
is a thing.
honestly, I totally should have gotten that, but I'm so bad with the like letter things.
Acronyms.
Like, yeah, there you go. I can't even know their names.
Yeah, and everything's an acronym now. I really, especially when you go on social media and stuff, I'll be like, what is they saying? What is they talking about? Everybody just putting random letters together. The fuck are we doing?
Somebody put
Spell it out.
TYVM, and I was just like, "Yo, who you talking to?"
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I had to
Hi. Oh,
realize that. Somebody was like, he's just saying thank you. And I was like, oh, okay. My bad. But 10 of them, 10
consent,
of them.
non-consent is a very big thing in the kink
Yeah.
community. So again, like that's kind of what that girl was looking for and looking for you from. But oftentimes, like I said, like when I'm working with these kinksters, I have to remind them like there's a lot of people in the kink community. There's a lot of people not in the kink community, and so like they have to remember that there's a time and place for everything. Not
Exactly.
everyone's into everything.
Yeah. I'm
Hmm.
about to say, I'm brand new to the kink community with the ghosting kink, so they need to make some room for me. I'm
I'm
gonna
so
start a
done.
Facebook group, and we're gonna share our times of,
It
what I'm saying, every
definitely already is like a thing. Like people
Yeah.
like again the like stigmatized thing of but like in of the woman aspect, like men definitely romanticize of like having a life with a woman, but they only had that one time. And then they go to the next woman and they kind of do the same thing again.
Hmm. Hmm.
I think that's more like
I
a
just
disorder, but I'm looking on that when you get up and you walk away,
that
sheesh.
sounds like a disorder. That
A,
sounds like a disorder.
like a
Not to kink. You
detachment.
know what? I'm not the professional sexologist here, so I can shame a little bit if that's how you're taking it. I'm gonna shame
No,
yours just because it's you.
don't you shame
I'm
my
gonna shame
kink.
it. I
I
don't
don't
care.
shame
I was
your
gonna say
kink.
for a
You,
lot of kinksters, it's like life. So
Thank
it's
you.
like
yeah.
a whole dedication.
That's who I am. I'm a kinkster now. I'm a
Own it,
kinkster.
baby.
See?
I don't
See,
like it.
G, why can't I get support from you like I get from McKenna?
I'm not gonna lie to you. Well, see, and then that's part of being digmatized and stuff like that. But you claim you don't do that, so that way women don't crash out.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I'm for you or against you, to be honest, friend. I really don't know. Not where the comment said we talking about kings. We're talking about sex. We're talking about attachment styles, actually, and sex. Speaking of, what's your attachment style? And which attachment style would you want to be in the bed with the most?
He's a man. He doesn't know his attachment styles.
He might know his attach. Don't do that. Don't do
He's gonna
that.
have to Google it.
So, have y'all seen like the viral videos of the girls like crashing out behind men, like where they show up to the job, up outside the crib, call somebody 58 times in a row if they're
Them
not answering the
anxious
phone.
attachment women.
I feel like we do get the rap of being the most toxic is the anxious ones for sure. But I feel like we love the hardest.
I
Yeah.
think y'all are
I
more
will
controlling.
say
Is it
oh,
manipulation? Is an
very
anxious attachment like
interesting.
manipulation?
McKenna's like, wait a
Mm,
minute.
I would say more avoidant is like more of the manipulator,
Manipulation.
just because
Yeah.
they know that the anxious person is gonna be there, or like whatever person is gonna be there. And so again, it's more of like that back pocket thing, like, oh, I'll pull you out when I need you.
Mm, I hate that.
And anxious though, it definitely can get manipulative in a sense of like they will people please you to death so that you are reassuring and like want to be there. So it definitely can still go both ways.
Can you go a little bit deeper into that people pleasing and how that could be manipulative? Because I'm trying to figure out if I do that subconsciously, unknowingly.
I was just gonna say, so like when we start talking about people pleasing, a lot of the times we're doing this and we don't even realize it. But
Mm.
yeah, subconsciously, you are doing everything that they desire. Say that they told you that they like something, you're already planning next week that you're gonna go get that, or you're organizing something so that happens for them, or whatever it may be, so that you are eventually like getting that reassurance. And the more that you're giving that to them, the more that they're reassuring you. And so it ends up becoming a little bit of a form of manipulation because you're able to keep them around by what you're doing for them. But it also goes on the other end of if they keep asking, like if they're just very nonchalantly just like talking and expressing about themselves, and then you're hearing that and being like, okay, I want to do this for them and I want to try and do this for them now, then it's on you. If they're like, oh, I like this, and they're noticing that you're doing everything that they like, then it kind of becomes manipulation on the other end.
I I think that I'm an anxious attachment style, and I just said I had a praise kink instead. I think that that's I labeled it a praise kink, but it's actually anxious attachment. Oh my
Okay,
god.
but a praise kink
Boom.
is that's a huge thing too.
It is,
Like,
but
no, it's
damn.
good that you're having a little bit of an internal look in for sure. Like, do you do that like people pleasing because that is satisfying for them, or do you do that because watching them be satisfied is pleasurable to you?
Both.
Then it's something that, like, each and every time you're doing a people pleasing action, you have to ask yourself, because there's sometimes that you're doing it for them and so that you can be seen by them.
Mhm.
And sometimes you're just doing it because you love to witness them and their pleasure, and that brings you pleasure. And
Damn.
they are able to like witness you bringing that to them, and so they give you that praise
Yeah.
back.
Damn. And I thought my kink was weird. Jesus.
Praise kink is so huge,
I
and
love it.
Is it?
honestly, a lot of people have it because we were not given the proper assurance when we were younger and the proper support.
Mhm.
Um, like I guess an aspect of sports, like we didn't have those people on the sidelines constantly cheering for us, and so now we love when we can do a good job. That's why a lot of people get addicted to like kind of promotions. The only
Mhm.
place that they're getting recognized or any kind of praise is within their job, and so they
Yeah.
end up getting addicted to growing in their work.
That's
Damn.
interesting. That's interesting. I would probably have
Never
to.
mind. Now I feel like I have a praise kink again. I don't know what I am.
I would look at it completely different, but I don't want to go there. But it just doesn't sound.
When you're healing, like again, each and every time you're doing an action for someone, you have to ask, like, is it for me or is it for them?
Mm.
And a lot of the times, like, yes, in a sense, it's always for them, but is it real? Am I really doing this to get the satisfaction and be recognized because that's what's good for me? And are you addicted to that? Or is it that, like, yeah, you love to see the smile and the way that their face lights up when you do whatever it is for them or bring them whatever it is, you know?
So
And
we.
yeah, like,
I want to ask a
sometimes you're
question.
gonna be, yeah, yeah.
Do, do you think it gets misconstrued as just attention seeking?
I definitely would say that people pleasing does. So, like, when you were younger and going through school, like, if you ever heard, like, teacher's pet and brown noser and things like that, a lot of the times, like, those kids are not receiving the kind of attention that they need always. And they feel that praise within school, and so they really strive there. And so it ends up getting kind of misconstrued in that way.
Mm.
Okay, I think I get what you're saying. I just praise kink doesn't sound, as a new member of the kink community, of course, as a kinkster, praise kink just doesn't sound like praise kink. It just sounds like you just want the attention. And that's normal. I would think anybody wants attention. We like attention, definitely positive attention. Praise kink just sounds so. Who wouldn't be a praise kink? You know what I'm saying? Like, who wouldn't want to be praised? Now, some people are out there that's like, no, I want to be beaten and disrespected, like, and stuff too. But I call those more, again, the exception to how everybody is. So I don't know. I guess it's different. Not trying to downplay
I
your kink, G. It just, before you become a real member of this
Oh,
club.
you can't downplay that, baby. Well, okay, but this is the thing though. This is what I was about to say. We've said before that we need to take the BDSM quiz. and figure
You
and like
absolutely
we need to
should.
talk about it, and it's free to do online. You can do like an extended version or like the shorter version is still long, y'all, so be prepared to sit for a minute and really think about how you're answering the questions. But yeah, you get a whole breakdown of like the percentage that you score in each area. JR, I would be interested to see your chart because I feel like you definitely have a praise kink as well.
Doubt it.
And I guess like JR is saying like you're right. Like who doesn't like when you get praised for something,
Hmm.
who doesn't have that little feeling inside that gives you that little
Yeah.
ignite of energy. And that's really like ultimately kind of where kink comes in. Like kink and fetish are two totally different things. And when we
Hmm.
think of kinks, they're just giving you that little feeling that really like ignite you up a little bit more in life. So you're kind of like right, like who wouldn't want that? But of course
Hmm.
there are the exception. There are a lot of people that like just feeling praise is like being in the spotlight and they do not know how to take a compliment or anything like that. And so there definitely are a lot of people that are on the opposite side still.
Hmm. See,
Damn. I never
there's two
noticed.
sides to everything. There's
I might
two
I
sides.
might not even be a kinkster anymore. I might be a fetster.
There's
I
what?
think I have a ghosting fetish.
What
No.
was the term
Fetish?
that you described yourself at? A fetster?
A
A
fester.
Fester.
I don't.
Like Uncle Fester?
Like a
Like,
fester. Yeah.
Wow, I don't like that. I while you ponder on that, JR, I do want to tap into the comments. Not where the comments said, "Damn, JR, is that love or compulsive disorder?" Talking about the anxious attachment styles. JR, what the fuck you combing? You know what? He just started that this season for real. I don't remember you doing that in season 3, and it's like he's just. Is it a stress thing? Do I stress you out now
It's a
in
grooming
this
thing.
season?
It's called self love.
You've
Jesus.
literally been doing it all episode in almost every episode. And when you guys watch them back, which I love to watch them back, you can hear it in the mic. You can hear it like combing through. Damn,
It's
that's
amazing.
crazy.
It's amazing. And it
I
feels
don't like it.
great.
I don't like it. McKenna, I have another question for you. Because
mhm.
I can't, and I don't even know how I lost my train of thought with that, but we went somewhere else with it. I've been seeing a lot of crash outs online. Like, I think women love to like post themselves crashing out about it, and they don't even realize that they're being a crash out behind potentially being stigmatized. So I have to ask, is there like any attachment styles that would be absolute no goes for a situationship or like a casual sex or like a fuck buddy situation?
uh, for me, I guess it comes down to anxious style because a lot of the times when we're and I say this because I've been in an anxious attachment style and like your attachment style changes all through
Mm-hmm.
life. Just depending on like where you are. And being in an anxious attachment style, we're the ones lying to ourselves. We're the ones that will say, "Oh yeah, well we can just do a situationship. This is totally fine." And that other person has been totally honest, let us know that they didn't want anything more, but we know that we really want the reassurance in the end, and so we still do want like maybe even it's not a full relationship, but when they start to break apart, we still want that relationship.
Yeah.
We still need that reassurance. So it's like, to be honest, if I were to get into a relationship, if I were single and to be getting into a relationship with someone that was an anxious attachment style, and I knew that I did not want a real relationship or want a consistent thing, that would be a no-fly zone for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I like it.
JR, do you know if there's a specific girl that you just would not? Because even with your 5 minute and two position session, you still, if the woman is anxious enough, potentially run the risk of getting someone who is still stuck on you. And you took her to brunch. She didn't take that no for an answer. She didn't Googled you. She found you on a podcast. She's now searching states for you. What are you gonna do?
Nothing.
You like that shit.
Who?
You do. I feel like you would like a stalker, low key.
No. No. Not even a little bit.
I think you're full of shit.
No. You have this when I gee. I am so uninterested in so many things that you have such a very, very tiny time to get me interested. And then it's even harder to keep me interested. So if I'm already taking you to brunch to say deuce, there's no coming back. Well, there is,
Wait,
but
there's
good
definitely
luck.
coming back because you took me out to brunch to tell me
Yes.
deuces. Like, who does that? No, it's just
Somebody who
goodbye. We
doesn't
don't
want their
need to
tires
go out.
slashed. You're not
So,
slashing the tires
okay,
of the guy who just bought you brunch.
you've said this many times. So your tires actually got slashed
Yeah.
because in your mind, JR said to himself, "It's because I laid down the pipe too good on
Yeah.
this woman."
Yes. For
Okay.
sure.
So what did you do with the tire slasher? How did you handle that situation?
Nothing. By reacting to it was going to give her what she wanted, which was my attention. So instead, I went to go get 2 new tires and keep my day going.
Damn.
It was the easiest way to do it. Instead of, if I gave her any attention, sometimes they like it when you're mad at them. Sometimes they like it when you're happy at them. Sometimes they just want you to do something, anything. Women don't want to be bored.
Any response
But when I didn't,
is a good response at some points.
see, I didn't do anything,
Mm.
Yeah.
and she got bored instantly, realizing I wouldn't respond. I'm not going to act. So she just left me alone after that, which was great.
If you
I'm
do not
surprised.
react, they can't keep acting. They can keep acting, but yeah, they will eventually, like, just like you said, kind of get bored with it. Is there's no mental stimulation coming back, so they let it go.
Damn. I'm not gonna. If I was to the phase where I actually went, I've never slashed tires before. But if I was on that crash out level, and I got ignored at slashing the tires, I don't know that my pride and my ego would allow me to stop there. I feel like I might up the ante a little bit. If I was really that emotionally invested, crash out, crash out, crash out. Go big or go home. That's our motto. Like with G. I don't know.
Nah, you would have been. I'm
I
telling
don't
you,
know.
you would have been. You would have did the same thing as soon as you, because you know how women are. They want to see you when you notice your tire slashed. They in a parking lot or something. You know what I'm saying? They want to see you when they did something to you. They want to see your reaction to it. They don't want to just do something and just leave. They want to be there to watch. Like, ooh. And when I saw that my tires were slashed, I said, got my phone, called a homie up, said, hey, need a ride. Went to go pick up some new tires. Came back, put them Johns on the car, dipped out.
What?
That was
Yeah,
it.
no, I'm upping the ante. If I was at a crash out level to where I didn't care about catching charges or slashing tires, because ladies, I want y'all to really be thinking about this. Y'all need to take a breath when we're about to crash out. We're not built for jail. If you're crashing out and you're that emotional, you're not built for jail, baby. So be careful, okay? Be careful. But yeah, I don't know. If I was at that level, then I'm at fuck it level. And there's nothing more dangerous for me than when I'm at a fuck it level.
Yeah, but if fucking level ain't doing nothing to me, she tried to yell at me and come at me, and why am I doing this to her? And I just walked away
What did
very
she say her
peacefully.
complaint was? Did she give you a reason for slashing the tires? She felt
Well,
like
no, I
y'all was
just
together.
pretty much to a certain extent, but yeah, I just was talking to another woman, and she just did not like that. What you call it, dickmatized? Yeah, she didn't like that, and I'm
She
thinking to
was
myself like,
big.
and this is to be honest, I'm like, girl, you don't even know my real name. You don't. I don't even know how we got here. I used, I used to lie. I've always lied about everything. And she didn't even know my real name. And she's lucky she knew where I lived. She's so lucky she knew where I lived.
So lucky.
I know.
So lucky.
I know.
So lucky.
Yep.
She knows nothing else about you. You want
Mm-hmm.
nothing to do with her. But she had the privilege of knowing where you
Yeah, if
stayed.
I don't think you have potential, you won't even know where I live. You won't know where I
So
live.
you thought she had potential.
No, 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 no. I'm
And then
talking about now.
immediately after.
Then those were the mistake days. This is
Oh,
now.
oh, oh,
I learned from
oh.
those.
Okay, I got
Actually,
you.
that mistake by itself triggered a whole new way of thinking for me, which is protect yourself, brother. Don't let these crash outs do you
Damn.
dirty.
Since we've been talking about Drake tonight, that reminds me of his one song, and I can't remember the name of it, but literally says in his lyrics, "I don't even treat you that good, girl. Why are you smiling?" And that's been going around viral with girls being like, "Check yourself. Like he ain't even treating you that good, girl. Like stop smiling. Humble yourself."
Well, we do like it
Sometimes
when
we
a
need
woman
that check.
smiles, so just
Yeah,
saying.
you. Yeah, but if he is even sitting here being like, "Girl, I don't even treat you that good."
Hey,
You
she
know
should
how many
smile.
men have probably thought that about like, especially if the woman is like an anxious attachment type of person that's like giving, 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 doing all these things, and he's like, "Man, I don't even treat you that good. Like, you doing all this for what? What? That's so sad."
It is. It really is sad, and I think those men
It's
are
so
very good
common
men.
too.
Yeah.
Women like definitely typically a little bit more in their head and emotional, and men are a little bit more black and white with things. And so, yeah, so oftentimes there's like, why are you so good to me? Like, and it's like they really don't understand that because they're not giving their 110% like the other partner is.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Why you
Yeah.
giving that much of
That.
effort and shit? I ain't earned that shit.
I'll never forget when I was talking to someone and it was going left. It wasn't going good. And I was really like having the conversation of like, damn, I'm giving you 100%. I'm giving it my all. Like what is the problem? And that man looked at me and he was like, that's crazy. I haven't even gotten in my bag yet. I haven't even like into my full potential with you. And I know it. And I'm not even giving that to you because of whatever. That is one of like the most disheartening feelings. It's like, damn. So the fuck am I doing this for? Ladies, preserve the energy, okay? Preserve the fucking energy.
I was gonna say, I think
Please.
as women, we immediately jump to um what we want, where we
Yeah.
want the relationship to be. So we immediately come in like doing that wifey stuff, if you will, and like a man just doesn't have that perspective and that side. So they just like don't understand that. And then we are going through, yeah, these 3, 6, 9 month cycle periods with
Hmm.
people, and we're putting in so much, but then we're just constantly, it's burning up, it's burning up, it's burning up.
Yeah.
I think it really
So
comes down to the man is being like some times, and I would think majority of the time, for men going on dates, they try to show a woman how super they are and amazing they are. And women do really kind of believe that this is who they're going to be consistently, to why they feel comfortable giving up those wifely benefits and girlfriend benefits. And then just to find out the guy is not Superman at all. He's really just Clark Kent. And now, you know, now you just got a normal ass motherfucker with you, and then it's just kind of disheartening when he just doesn't really continue to be consistent with the effort.
That's super common too, is when we
mhm,
start dating, it's not just men, it's women too. We do all of these things that we just don't do all the time, and we're doing them every single time that we meet with this person for a while until we finally hit that comfortability stage, and then we're not doing it. And then the other person feels like we're just like not showing up like we were, but in reality, we were just showing up in our 120% all the time when we first connected or what it may be. And
mhm.
that's something I think a lot of people should realize when they start dating, of like, be authentic. Like, take people to do what you actually like to do. You don't need to take
Yeah,
them to the most expensive restaurant or the nicest place in town and like try and really like show yourself off. You need to authentically be showing yourself off.
absolutely. I agree with
Goddamn.
that.
Be real.
100%.
Be real with me, baby. Let's be
Be
real.
real
You
with
be real with
yourself,
them,
you know?
and that
Oh
too.
damn, here we go. Goddamn.
That too.
Never, never.
Cause you
I'll
be real
never.
But
with
seriously,
yourself. Be
yeah.
real with others.
I'll be real with
People
me.
want to think they're Superman and really they're not even Clark Kent.
The
Not
thing
even
is,
close.
McKenna, I am Superman. The
That
only
is
problem is a lot of people will never get to experience it because I don't have the morals he does to go save y'all. Don't save them. They don't want to be
they don't want
saved.
to be said. Don't say it. They don't want to be. Shout out J Cole. Shout out J
I
Cole.
mean, a little bit,
Look,
just a
we.
little bit. Don't shout him out too much. Nah, you know, I don't deal with that. I don't deal
You
with
know,
that.
Kendrick was mentioned in the comments. We talked about Drake and J Cole. That's crazy.
Yeah, screw,
We can't
screw
escape
Kendrick
them
too.
for nothing. So, okay, I have a question because obviously, like you, anybody who's looking at attachment styles, I think most of us have a lot of work to do, and that comes with us just not really spending time with ourselves and victimizing ourselves in our situations. So, I'm curious if you can give us any sort of tips on for those of us who may want to change our attachment style. Is there ways that we can get to a more secure attachment style? Because I would love to be a secure girly. That's what I strive for. And if you can give
I
us
would
tips,
say I would say, first of all, you're already on the right track. Like you saying that you're doing that mindfulness, like
mhm,
therapies and things like that. Like that's key. What really brings you to a secure attachment style. And I have no problem saying this. I have just moved into a secure attachment style within the last couple of years. And even in my current partnership now, I have moments where I become not avoidant and I have to go and, put on my open heart and say, okay, I'm sorry. I just walked away and I didn't want to do this, but right now I'm committed to what this is. So know that it takes commitment, it takes time, and mindfulness is key. The more that we're learning to recognize these patterns, the more that we can start to like integrate different things for these patterns, start to kind of pause that pattern and put something else in there. And so, what I would say is become observant with yourself. And really, one of the best ways to do that is journaling. And one of the most most security that I found with myself is in mirror work. So, literally waking up every single day and looking at yourself in the mirror and telling yourself, I love myself. I love myself the
mhm,
way I am right now. Even if you don't feel it or it doesn't, yeah, like it doesn't resonate maybe in the body at the time, keep telling
mhm,
yourself that because eventually you will. And telling yourself that you love yourself at the person you are now, because so often we are like thinking about this person we want to be, and like we don't ever give ourselves grace until we
yeah,
become that person. And that's exact opposite of what we want. That's not showing our self-love. That's doing the exact opposite. We're just pushing ourselves more and kind of pointing the fingers at ourselves more. And so
mhm,
I would definitely say if you are not journaling already, begin journaling. Just a journal on the like what your relationships are like right now. What are your connections that you have right now? And that goes from, yes, your partnerships, whether they be sex or even business partnerships and friendships and things like that.
mhm.
Damn.
What do you think about what she just said, Jr.?
I think that you are going to be very anxious for a while.
Why you say that?
Good luck, girl. I'm gonna pray for you.
And the other thing I would say is
Uh,
intermix just like breath work. And that doesn't mean like having to do a breath work session. I think sometimes people think that, but just intentionally breathing is breath work. So the
yeah.
most important breath, at least what I think is the most important breath that you can do, is breathing in through the nose and out the mouth. And if you
Mm,
even if you add like an audible, yeah, exhale, like a little bit of sound, That is probably the most important breath work that you can do. It tells the body that it is okay, that you are safe. So, especially if you find yourself in those anxious portions of overthinking of like, should I text this person or what should I say to this person? Even if you're constantly thinking about what you should text this person, that's kind of that
Mhm.
anxious style. And I really recommend just taking some deep breaths and really like if you can putting away whatever from your mind completely, focusing on breath completely and then go back to whatever it is, like whether you're texting a person or journaling with yourself because like JR said, like uh, he thinks you might be anxious for a while and what I am assuming is because he's done some of this work, it sounds like, and he knows that it's not always easy to look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself these things and really be sitting with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, what McKenna said. Yeah.
No, what's your reason for real?
Yeah, why do you think that about her?
Yeah, why don't you have faith in me?
G.
I could do it.
G, the first step, right, is
First of all,
admitting
fuck you,
it.
JR.
Okay?
Okay.
That's the first step is admitting it. And I think you have a long way to go before you can fully admit it. That's all.
That's all.
I just said I was anxious. I said, damn, I think I'm
Yeah,
anxious,
but you're
not
thinking more
not a
like,
praise kink. I
I'm so
said,
anxious type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
no, I really don't like that
No,
I'm
I don't
anxious.
know what you're saying. Also, like you're
Probably because
just
I feel
saying
I
like
what
you
sung
you
it
think I'm
wrong.
taking it as like a positive. I'm
I'm
not taking
thinking,
it as a
I meant to
positive.
sing
Yeah.
more like anxious. That's the way I meant to sing it.
Oh,
It's
the
a song.
R&B,
Yeah,
the R&B
I sung
song.
it like that so Raven. I'm sorry, y'all.
I don't romanticize my anxiety, although I do think it is love sometimes. Well,
I
damn,
wouldn't talk
anxiety
about
masks
that
love. I don't
though.
know.
A lot of people do romanticize their anxiousness, and I think that's a part of like the trendiness of wanting to know your attachment style, which
Hmm.
I
Okay.
think it's great in portions of it's bringing more awareness to more people in these areas, but it's also a little bit putting in people's minds that they're anxious and like, yes, we all experience anxious moments and times of angst.
Hmm.
But are you actually a person of like anxiety are two totally different things and really recognizing that.
That's a good question.
I'm just a ball of nerves. I'm like anxiety, like the movie. What's the movie called? The Disney movie with all the emotions in the head.
Yes, I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what it's
Is it
called.
Inside Out or am I just
Inside
making
Out.
shit up
Oh
in my
yeah,
head?
yeah. Uh-huh. Inside Out.
Sometimes it'd be like popping up in my head, but I don't even trust myself. But that's part of the anxiety. I'm like anxious to be wrong. I am
Such a good
anxiety.
movie too.
It is such a
Anxiety
good
was that
movie.
was so deep. I said, "Oh, well, look at that there."
Okay, I think that it is good. Like again, yeah, it's bringing that awareness and I think that it just requires like more information. Like
Yeah.
we're all going to be a little bit anxious, but learning how to like deal with that experience within ourselves.
Heavy on the learning how to deal with it because so many people, I feel like, when it comes to feelings and mental health in general, like you can't see it. But when someone's about to have a panic attack, like I saw a video where it was like, this is how to not handle someone having a panic attack. And it was a person literally like repeatedly being like, you're fine, you're good, you're nothing's wrong, you're fine. But like a panic attack is truly like your brain is sending all the signals of like mayday, 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 something's wrong. So like you can't regulate it like that. Don't tell me nothing's wrong. My body is shutting down. So yeah,
Yeah,
there's ways to deal
Absolutely.
with it.
gonna take time, G.
Hearing it's you're okay or don't stress is actually more stressing to the body because we know
Mm,
what that word means. So when we hear don't do it, it ignites the word within us. So yeah, it just ends up bringing more anxiety. And like you said, our body is sending all these signals of like red flags, and it just
yeah,
makes it that much worse.
yeah.
You're not lying there. I'm telling you. That's why every time a woman be stressed around me, I'd be like, yo, you freaking out. Go in the other room.
JR, I feel like you're
Hmm?
Thank God you're not a therapist, man. Thank
I
God.
just, I just, you know, it's
Have you?
probably the
I feel
ghosting
like you could
fetish.
learn active listening, JR, and
Ooh,
that would help solve a lot. Maybe? It'd
I,
definitely help a lot, though.
I am the
Just like your
best.
communication connection.
I'm the best at communication in the world.
when he wants to be.
All the time.
No, not all the time.
All the
When you
time.
want to be. No, not all the
Gee,
time.
all the time.
No, 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 sir. No, senor. I'm not going for that. When
What
you
I think
want to
I'm
be.
seeing is reactive listening right now. You're listening to respond,
I took it in.
but
I
active.
I thought about it. I took it in. I recollected all my memories, and now I know that she's wrong.
Oh my God. You always think everybody's wrong. You think everyone's wrong.
No, no, just you, right now, in this
It's
topic.
always me. It's
No,
always
just
me.
you, right now.
Well, I think, well, you know what? I'm gonna take you up on your challenge because you think I love being competitive too. And I love proving motherfuckers wrong. So you think that I can't not be anxious and become secure. But if anybody tells me that I can't, yes, the fuck, I can. So I'm finna do it. That's gonna be, and I'll let y'all know when I get there. Don't put a time limit on it. Healing is a process.
Isn't that the whole point of my
Okay.
challenge? Is the time? I just said it's gonna take you a while.
Okay. How long do you give me until I can? How long is acceptable? What's the average on this shit?
About
You
10
can't do
years.
that. It's not gonna take me no 10 years, Jr.
Why you look at me like that? You asked me a question, I answered it.
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't want another relationship where I have an anxious attachment disorder. I don't
Exactly.
want nothing but a secure relationship moving forward because otherwise it's stressful.
So it's already gonna
It's
take you about
stressful. I
4 to
don't like
5
it.
years to find that guy, right? And I wish
I was
it
gonna
doesn't.
say it takes
Hope it
that
doesn't.
secure guy too, though,
Yep.
for sure. It
So
definitely
by the
does
time you
take
find
finding
that
someone that
guy,
is.
he hopefully it's only gonna be four
Oh
years.
damn, the man gotta be secure too for me to be secure.
Duh.
And it be
Not
good. I can't do
Not
necessarily,
yeah.
but
Do
if
it.
you're an anxious attachment style, then again, you're typically attracting that avoidant and they are doing what they know. They're reaching out just enough to like keep you enticed and bringing you along. And when they realize it's not fulfilling or in alignment with them anymore, that's kind of when it's at their disposal. So it takes someone, and a lot of the times that avoidant will be like kind of telling you that they want to be hanging out, but they're not giving you the full clarity of like not wanting to date. So they'll keep with the gray, and so
Mm-hmm.
that keeps that anxious in there. And so it's good to be in the like let's see where this goes, but also I recommend knowing where you want it to go and in what kind of process of a timeline. No,
Yeah.
healing, there's no timeline. Falling in love, there's no timeline on it, but there is also like respect boundaries for yourself, right?
Yeah.
And so there's something of like noticing that someone is dragging out your time a little bit too long. And so when finding someone in a secure attachment style themselves, they're willing to let you know what they are able to provide and hold space for or not.
Yeah.
And actually mean it. Not so much like that avoidant where they're like lying to you or lying to themselves, just like that
Yeah.
avoidant or anxious.
I th-
Well, see, and I can do that. I can start implementing more boundaries right now.
well, let me tell you something,
When I
G.
get off this
Absolutely.
podcast, boundaries, motherfuckers, watch out.
G,
Please.
Yes.
if you was an active listener, then you would understand that McKenna's trying to say. Also, I'm gonna caveat with it too. So what she's also saying is that you shouldn't, right, go towards what you're attracted to normally and try the abnormal for you, and then have an open mind to learn of what the value that person's giving you, so you can be able to see different things that are fulfilling for your needs more than your wants.
I didn't hear
That's
anything that you just
hard.
said.
Yes and no. He's saying like kind of go for that opposite person that you usually go for, but like we're talking about attachment styles, and that doesn't necessarily my own personal attachment styles have changed. So
Mhm.
yes, my personality has changed a little bit in my patterns, but also my personality hasn't changed. So you're attracted to a person's personality. And
Mhm.
so yes and no. Going for the opposite, yes, that might lead to like the opposite attachment style, which is great, but maybe you end up not being attracted to that personality in the end.
Yeah, like I said, but again, not for the actual like long term, but for the learning of what you would find valuable within your, like, fulfilling for yourself. And then you can pick those characteristics that you find valuable, and then you can then search for someone who has those characteristics and still meet your attraction level. And then now you kind of know where to go off of, because now you know what you need instead of what you want.
Okay, yes, I absolutely understand. That was like the little piece at the end I was missing that I
Mhm.
definitely agree with. Like, I tell people that come to me and they're single and they want to start dating again, I tell them to go like date as many people as you can, because that is where you start funneling that information of what kind of characteristics you really want for that long-term person. And I
Yeah.
actually have a girlfriend that she's the queen. She did a whole year of experimental dating and went on 600 dates in a year and literally put a method to it. No, yeah, she was the most amazing woman ever.
Wow.
And
I
she put a
love it.
method to it. I will link you up with her. She'll tell you exactly how to date people, and within 3 dates, you can know if this person is gonna be, like, something you wanna continue in alignment for, or if, like, this is just not for you. And
Yeah.
that 3 dates is, like, something, like, long term, speaking
Mhm.
of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gee, we got to do a 600 date challenge and vlog
Yo,
it.
you
A
guys
600-day
should.
challenge
And
of
vlog
like
it.
endless dating.
Endless dating and vlog it. And after each one, you
What
have to.
if you end
Honestly,
up what if you end up falling in love, JR?
Oh, you think this is for me?
You in this and then you're gonna be opening yourself up. But okay, I have a question on this. If I were ever in a position of willing to go on up to 600 days, because that just sounds like a lot of work, a lot of effort. Do I have to go on dates with people that I'm not physically attracted to as well?
Yup.
No.
Gee,
you don't have to, but I guarantee that it ends up happening, right? So, at least for me, even personally, like, given, like, my dating history, like,
Yeah.
physically attracted, maybe not there, but there was a lot of, like, mental attraction or just, like, emotional, energetic connection that
Mhm.
caused me to, like, go out on dates after.
and it taught you about yourself. That's what I'm trying to say,
But
G. If
Absolutely.
you have, you will never go on 600 dates if you're only looking for your type specifically. You'll go on 5 in a year. God damn it, you're so
why do
picky.
you say that?
Cause you're picky.
What? Excuse me?
You heard what I
Pero
said.
mira, oh,
Yeah.
you coming for me today?
Nope. I'm
You
only
skip
trying to
one
be
episode
honest.
on Tuesday, you over here calling me out. That's
Que
crazy. Why do
sucio.
you think my type I could only have 7 dates in a year? My type.
Because your type is so specific.
What?
All
I'm
right. You
almost
know
afraid
what?
to ask you
Challenge
what you
accepted.
think my type is.
No, no, don't. Challenge accepted. Challenge
Because
accepted.
I don't feel like I even really have a type for real.
You have to average, what is it, like 50 dates a month? Gee, you couldn't do 10.
I couldn't do that because I'm busy and I'm doing a podcast. And I got kids and stuff. Ain't nobody got time to be out here dating 50 dates a month.
You can go live at the date. Fuck it.
Ain't nobody. Yeah, I mean, no. And to be real with you, the podcast is kind of like a mood killer in the dating arena for me.
I don't know what that means, but all I know is
People don't
600.
love commitment. People don't love commitment to work. They love like the when you start dating to have that
Yeah,
spontaneous times and moments. So I'm not surprised hearing that from you
yeah,
at
yeah, yeah,
all.
Yeah, but
yeah.
this is an experiment, not a. See, it's gonna take. It's just gonna take a while, G. You can't even detach now from your own wants. So like I said, it's gonna take a while. Don't
Because
worry.
I feel like I
Also,
shouldn't have to though.
Exactly.
Like I'm
10
for
years.
giving different types a chance when it comes to like certain aesthetics, right? But I'm attracted to what I'm attracted to, and I don't feel like I should have to settle. I feel like that's a misconception. Because even, and when I say that, I'm not even talking about conventionally attractive. I'm talking about attractive to me. I have dated men in my past that everybody around me was like, "Girl, that's him," and I'm like, "Yes, I love him. What are you talking about? Like, don't talk about him that way." So, like, I'm talking about attractive to me, and I don't think I should have to settle on that. Absolutely not.
Whatever you say. 10 years.
I think women are expected to date not our type, but like specifically what we would consider not physically attractive in order to find a good man. I feel like that's the advice that men give us women. And I don't like that shit. I've never liked that shit.
We think y'all don't
I'm
know
just
what
saying.
y'all want.
That is so manly of you.
I'm just telling you what we think. I'm not telling you that's the truth. I'm just
Who
telling
told
you
y'all that?
that's what we think. We think y'all don't even know what
Why
y'all
would
want.
that's because we are in that typically like anxious state of or disorganized, and so we end up sending those like mixed signals or overly strong signals.
Yeah. And we be so confused, like, what in the world is going on? She's there, she's not there, she's turned on, then she's turned off. She wants to be there, but then she's not want to be there. I do the same. Then she wants so much attention, but she loved it that I work so much. I don't know what's going on with this woman. She likes it when I'm very aggressive. She hates being bored. She likes it when I'm so sentimental. She wants me to open up more, but at the same time, she wants to disrespect me when I'm goddamn complaining about something. She won't call me not a man or not man enough or
Another
god
thing
damn.
that that has to do with though is
spiral?
our hormonal cycles as a woman. So
We talked
we
about this.
reset, yeah, we reset every month.
Yep,
A
10 years.
man wakes up a man wakes up and resets with the sun. So every morning he wakes up and he resets. But we as women go through cycles in a month. So there could be one entire week where we're like, can't get enough of you, want to be all over you. And then that next week where it's literally complete opposite because our hormones are literally making us want to just be internal. And so I think that's another bad rap that we end up getting of like not knowing what we want because our hormones actually like change what our desires are within a month's phase.
Can you turn it off?
That's true.
What? No.
Exactly. So it is who you are. I get what you're saying. You're
What?
absolutely right. I know why. I'm just letting you know it's still who you are at the end of the day. And there's nothing wrong
It's
with that.
definitely it's definitely who you are, and I would say like also though learning emotional regulation now
Yeah.
through like my somatics and my sexology and things like that. That is a large portion of it too. Like your hormones don't just get to overtake just because you are in those changing emotions or changing hormones and they do change your emotions. You are still responsible for your emotions and how you project those emotions.
Absolutely.
Facts.
I'll give mine a heads up. Hey, just forewarning, this is how I'm feeling today. Even if I don't know it's because of my hormones. If I'm just feeling away, I'll be, hey, today's just one of those days.
And just being open and honest and like, yeah, communicating that as soon as you feel
Mhm.
it, like that can de like de-escalate so much before things happen, and then like really work around that like miscommunication as well, or just
Mhm.
like allows for people to be a little bit more understanding in those states.
I'm with it.
Well, I have a challenge. I have what? I have 90 days to get secure. Was that my thing? Or
Sure.
what was the challenge?
10 years, but
What
okay.
was the
You can do.
challenge?
It's 90.
I was gonna say 90 days, maybe 9 years, and then you still beat whatever he
Damn.
said.
I was about to say
Like, you think it would take me 9 years to get secure? I'm
so
not
much
gonna
for
lie
that
to you,
No way.
active
McKenna. Now
listening.
I don't even want to put in the work for it. Fuck it. I'll be
No way,
anxious.
no. I definitely think you'll be like, for me personally, so I would say that I thought that I was, I guess in reality, it's probably taken me like 3 years to
Mm,
be in a more secure state than in my other attachment styles. But again, just because I have all these tools and I'm in a more secure state mostly doesn't mean that I don't fall back into those attachment
right.
styles sometimes. Um, like I said, like with fighting with my partner, sometimes those attachment styles come up. It's not just in the way we show up in sex, it's also just the way we show up in always in relationships.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yep. Gene, I'm rooting for you.
Still feels like a lot of work. Like now I feel overwhelmed. Now I feel like those college students are like, oh yeah, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. And then they realize how many years it takes them to get the degree. And they're just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just be like,
I'll
I'll be
just
a
be a
nurse
teacher.
instead, which that's a lot of work too, but or I'll just be a teacher.
Again, that's those active listening skills right there, girl. 90 days. So if that's the
I
challenge you
can
want to
do it.
go
I
with,
can do anything I set my mind to. But honestly, I think even if I never get there, never say never, but even if I never fully get to a place where I feel secure, I think it's important to be aware of it, right? And then be working towards it because at least I'm working towards it. So at some point with repetition, some of that's gonna stick. You know what I'm saying? I would rather be striving for it and still reaching for it than just completely give up. 'Cause I
And that
don't want to be.
security just starts with that relationship with yourself. Like you're asking how to begin it. It really means falling back in love with yourself. That's how you provide security so that you can be secure in relationships as well.
Like that.
90 days, G.
90 days and I'm gonna be secure.
90,
Yes.
90 days. God damn.
It'll be 90 days. Look, okay. It's about that time. I love talking to McKenna because we always go super long. And I love it. I
I
love
always
it.
have such a good time with you guys. I love the
Right?
conversations that we have.
We need to have a whole other topic about the BDSM stuff. We need to have a live night about ooh, friends with
I would love
benefits. We need
that.
to do that one too. Friends with
I would
benefits.
love that.
Yeah. Are you team friends with benefits or not, Jr? Because you be ghosting the next day, so you can't be too friendly.
No, I'm not really with the friends with benefits.
Really?
I mean, I am, but I'm not. Me personally, I won't, but I'm okay with it being initially. So like, yeah, let's be friends with benefits. But after I smash, I really don't even want to be benefits with you anymore. So it's like, it doesn't work out with me. But that's just me though. I'm not against it.
Oh
You
wait,
never
can
were
I?
really friends with them, is what it sounds
Mm-mm,
like.
Well,
no.
neither. Yeah. Well, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. The only way I could be friends with a chick is if she's helping me with my stroke game. So because of that, you would think you would have consistent sexual access, but after one time, it's normally like so it doesn't
I
really
think
work out that
yours
way.
really just comes down to a matter of definition. I don't understand how you got to your definition of friend, but I feel like you do have female friends by others' definition of what a friend is. You have that. That's just not how you define it.
Sure, however other people want to, but
AKA he has friends. Anyways,
I'm not looking out for them. I'm not going to help them. I'm not going to give them any of my
Disagree.
resources or time. Okay, whatever. Then cool.
Disagree. There's no woman. Y'all be a witness. There's no woman that you'd put extra effort in for.
That I'm not
That
benefiting
is
off of.
platonic. Yes, it is completely platonic. That you put in work for. That's completely platonic.
I was gonna say
Nope.
the same thing.
Ay bendito sea Dios. This is what I've been telling him. I'm like, we're friends, and he's like, absolutely not. We're friends.
What?
I'm your friend by other people's definition. He's in denial, y'all. By other people's definition of friend, I fit that narrative. Sorry,
You're my
sorry.
co-host and my
Here
boss,
we go.
technically.
It's okay because your rejection is fine. We're friends.
I don't understand
It's that avoidance style. Like he really doesn't even want to just like accept a friendship.
Yep.
because it's not there.
Look at you getting upset in your snuggie. That's cute. Heather said, OMG. Yeah, girl. He on one tonight. See, you wanted him on camera with you. I don't know why you wanted him on camera with you. Wait, okay. So I know we were about to close up, but if you have just a little bit longer for me, McKenna, I have a question.
Yeah.
Because
Uh-huh.
I thought about it earlier and then I forgot and now I remembered it again because JR pissed me off. So, like for women, right, to do this 600 date a year challenge, there's a lot of negative misconceptions that women would have to deal with doing something like that. Like, we can't date the way, I mean, we can, girls, we run the world, we could do anything, but by a man's standard, I can't look at a man and be like, yeah, you're my 51st date in a month in a day, and him be like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna enjoy this day, or I'm gonna even really try to get to know you for real. So when women are out here, because we tell women that they should be dating like that to exercise our options, figure out what they like, but should we be honest about it?
Wait, who says that? Who
What
who?
do you mean? Who says that?
McKenna, have you ever heard somebody go on a date and be like, "Hey, what's up? You're my fourth date this week, so how are you?" Like that's not a
I
thing.
Yes, it is. I'm gonna call out Shelly, even though she's not here tonight. Where you at, girl? Anyways, Shelly, when she was on the podcast, she would talk about the Shell Olympics. And she would openly tell the guys that she dated that they were a part, they were competing in the Shell Olympics.
Yeah, but
I got,
again,
or she would be like, I got this date on this day. Okay. I have time for you this day. And then the next day, boom, until she found the one she liked.
and again, she's an exception, but that's not normal though, is all I'm saying. Nobody does that. Now she
Definitely
didn't.
rare. It's definitely a lot more rare for sure. But what I
Mm,
would say is that, like, I think absolutely just be truthful and honest. Not telling them as well, it's not like you're lying to them if they ask you for sure, but there's nothing wrong with, like, being open and upfront and honest, and, like, I believe what I remember my friend Brandy who had done this experience and experiment, she had told some of them, and some of them didn't have a great reaction, but some of them did, and, um I think I remember she ended up meeting her partner at the time that she was doing all this
mm,
experiment. I don't think it was, directly in that 600 portion, but it was right after or something like that,
yeah.
and she had told him that she had just went on over 600 dates or something, and he totally was just cool about it, and they are one of the most, like, successful couples I've ever seen, and they just have totally open and honest communication.
JR, no, me out. See, you know how many men probably go on 600 dates in a year?
Do you know how much it costs to go on 600 dates in a year as a man? Stop it,
Not
G.
all
Okay,
dates
I love
cost.
that. Wait. I love that. So, with this experiment, that's like, so my friend Brandy did this so that she could like formulate how to date. Like, how do you date to find the one? And so it's like, first, it's like a 10 to 30-minute date, and it's only a coffee date, and you pay for your own drink. And then the second time, you still pay for your own thing. Like, there's never um that stigma of like, oh, having a man take me out or anything like that until after
Yeah.
3 or 4 dates. because you both are showing up to show participation. You should not be leaning and expecting anything because you don't even know if you guys are wanting to continue this.
Well, tell her to come date me. She can pay for her meal all she
Oh,
want. I have no
well, I
problem
have a
with that.
question. With that, was it like 600 dates in total? As in, some of those 600 were the same people just repeated, or was it like all 600 different people?
So they're mostly different people, but there was like some repeats to kind
Okay,
of create that formulation.
gotcha. And she really
But
broke it
there's
down
like
to a
she dated
science.
hundreds of no, yeah, she literally created like a mathematical equation to learn how to date.
I
And
love that.
Sounds horrible.
I mean, everyone I've talked to, it seems like it's been really successful. And like when she explained it to me, I immediately was just like, it took all of the like BS out of dating, if you
Out of
will.
it.
Like, yeah, of showing up and like, oh, am I gonna pay? Are they gonna pay? Should I pay for both of us? Kind of a thing. Things
Yeah,
like that. That she totally just like, yeah, created this process so that you don't even think about any of that.
right.
I met a chick
Why are
and
you
she
making
told
that
me she
face,
was on a
Jared?
date, and she said she was on a date like she was like, oh, I had like 5 dates, right? Now me and her not on a date while she's saying this. I met her. She's a bartender. Just at a bar. I normally befriend the bartender so they can get me the other women, you know what I'm saying? For sexual access. Again, but it's not really friends. Like I said, it's really like, just be cool with them. They'll hook you up with any of the other waitresses. Whatever. Anywho, she tells me about this, right? And all I thought to myself was, oh, you're easy. I should just take you down myself sexually. And she was down for that. Problem, she absolutely adored me. So when I took her to brunch, it was pretty good for her, but I had to make sure she didn't know anything about me because I honestly thought of her as only recreational use only because
Ugh,
of that I've been on this many dates type of stuff. I would prefer you not tell me that because now I look at you a different way. I do. Now, if those
see,
other
but
guys don't, that's cool. But what if you like that guy and he's the one that just happened to look at you a different way? I wouldn't even want to risk that. I would just go about your
that
business
is
doing
it.
what you do.
Is it because the assumption is that with each person that you date, you're fucking them? Is that what the assumption is, and that's why men are so uncomfortable with that idea?
Well, it's
Because I
either
just
or.
don't think it's fair.
It's either or. Either you're not smashing them, that means I'm not getting none, or you are smashing them and I'm getting some, but recreational use only. So it's either or in our mind. Because if you're not,
What
then
are
it's
the
really
options again?
either you're
You're
not smashing these guys, and now I'm like, well, I'm not getting none, so why do I give a shit? And or you are smashing them guys, and I'm like, well, then you're recreational use. I'll get mine too. I'm just in line. Either or. Knowing is unnecessary. I would. It's like going up to
and
them and
this
saying, "Yeah,
clicks
this
in
is
your
my
brain
body
the
count."
moment a woman says she's been on what's like the minimum amount of dates where it switches and you're like recreational bitch. Like
If it's
where is
if
that?
she
Where's your
tells me
tick?
she's been on more than 2 dates that week, then
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
Maldito sea.
Whoa.
yeah, for sure.
If
This
she
is the
got a
first
free
time you're
schedule,
meeting her?
Yeah, first time I'm on a date with her, meeting her, whatever it may be, and she tells me she's been on more than 2 dates that week, recreational use only,
oh, more than 2 days. I thought you said 2 dates that week.
or two or more. It could be two also, and I'll still be like, recreational use only.
How many dates a week is acceptable, do you think, for a man to do? I'm just not to compare, but I just want to know what your baseline is for men.
For what we consider a date, shit, as many as we want. But for what a woman would consider a date, like we busy, so date nights are like twice a month, once a month for couples. So yeah, I would say like once or twice a month.
In a sense, also, though, if you're dating in this capacity, it's recreational, correct? Because, like, even in my sense of, like, my friend Brandy, like, And like we're talking about dating a lot of people so that you can find the right characteristics. So you're in a
Mm-hmm.
like it is in a recreational sense already. And then you end up meeting that person that you like and it becomes then you start working out of that recreational sense and like seeing if you narrow in. So like I guess kind of it's like that anyways, but I wouldn't agree with the fact that like for men it's okay that any amount of dates is okay, but after two or more is makes her seem like recreational
Use.
fun toss around use.
Yeah, I mean, again, perception. I mean, she can tell me no, but in my mind, it's still in my mind. And just like a woman, if I told you, oh, I don't have a job, right? You might get the ick off rip, like, okay, you don't have a job. You could get the ick. Or, who knows, I might just be somebody who's invested in stocks and Bitcoin so long that I don't have a job. I don't need a job, but I still have financial stability. But you don't know any of that. All you know is I don't have a job. So you might get the ick off rip, like, you're not gonna be able to provide, you're not have a lot of ambition possibly, or whatever it may be. You might think that way, and now you're kind of turned off a little bit until you find out what's real, and you don't know what's real unless to show proof, and there's no proof that she could show me that she didn't smash these guys. So it's kind of one of those hard things that a man would have to deal with hearing it. So
You're immediately thinking that she's smashing them, like you're just assuming that.
either or, like I said, either she's smashing them, recreational use, or she's not smashing them. That means I'm not getting none, which also turns me off.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either one.
Wow.
What's wrong, Jay? You rocking with me? Stop playing.
No, not
Oh
on this
shit.
one, buddy.
Well, don't tell
Not
him how many
on
dates you on.
this one. But that's kind of like my thing, right? Because I like that's something that's told to me all the time. Like you need to like date more, have options, stop like settling in. But I've never, as a woman, based off of like men's judgment alone and what society tells you. Well, no, I can't even say that anymore because society is shifting. I've just been stuck in that mentality of like I don't want to risk. There's this thing that men do, especially online. They put women on like a grading scale, right? So, and JR has done it plenty of times where it's like, oh, if you have X amount of kids, demoted. If you were married, demoted. This knocks you down to recreational use. So I think I got PTSD from watching Kevin Samuel's podcast and like Fit and Fab and hearing these men. And I would just be like, oh my God, that's against me. And then that's against me. And that's against me. So in any area where I feel I can be in control of a man like demoting me, I'm not even going to play that game. So I don't put myself out there in the dating field because I don't even want to deal with it. I'm good.
Go ahead, McKenna. Teach her that
Also,
self love.
JR.
I know what you was
That's
about to
very
say.
true, but well, what I was gonna say to you is that you're immediately assuming something about sex. Why are you only dating surrounded with sex? If
Hence
you're dating
why.
to learn characteristics, if you're dating just for characteristics, that doesn't you don't even need to know if they've been having sex recently because it doesn't mean that that's gonna end in sex. You're just dating to learn about them and allow them to be a mirror and reflect what you want or what you don't want, maybe.
Yeah, that I okay. So there's two parts, right? Hence, it. I get what you're saying, McKenna, and I do wish the world was like that, right? I wish the world was more on your character, right? But because I am a man, and I mean that as a human being, I can't see your character before, because men, we are the pursuers naturally and normally we're the pursuers. So I don't see your character up front. I have a physical lust for you up front, which is why I came to you and talked to you in the first place. So because I came to you and talked to you off of a lust that I have for you, that's the initial attraction there, right? And anything else, just again, you're here on I want to have sexual access to you. And then everything else could be an add-on or a takeaway to that. But that's up to you to show me, oh, add on, it's great. Or for you to show me take away, take away, take away. But ultimately, we have that level of I'm attracted to you sexually. That's why I came and approached you. It's just, to me, it's natural. That's just a normal thing for men and women. I think if women saw you, I don't know. Actually, no, I don't know why women would approach a man, but again, I would assume it's because of attraction and like, you know what I'm saying. But I've seen
What?
women approach ugly men with a lot of money too, so they could be attracted by their ability to provide. I'm just saying, in
I was
general,
gonna say that's still attraction technically, and
yeah.
like even in a way like attraction to the mind and things like that.
Mhm.
And I definitely can understand where you're saying like as a male or just like in a sense of just seeing someone that is like that physical attraction part. But when we start dating, we have to start looking at ourselves and asking ourselves, why are we dating? Are
Yeah.
we dating to have sex? Or are we dating to discover ourselves and new people?
But
There's a lot of reasons that.
isn't that for the opposite party to show you how much more valuable they are than just that initial attraction? Is it my job
No.
to see, like, is it my job to know how valuable you are, or is it your job to show me how valuable you are?
It's it's your job to know your own value,
Mm-hmm.
and it's your job to decipher if I'm living up to that, and your choice to keep me around or not from that.
By
It's not my
what?
job
Yeah,
to
but
prove that. I'm just here to be
well,
myself.
then how do I find that out if we're dating? How do I find that out if you're up to that level? How do I find it out?
That's you have to ask those questions that you need to find out for, or you need to like have these experiences
Mm-hmm.
that show you. But
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it comes down to communication.
And who's going to answer those questions that I'm asking? And who's going to follow, or who's going to, again, I think you're saying the same thing I'm saying, but I'm going
But
to
I'm not
be
here to
the,
prove myself. It's you deciphering it for yourself.
exactly,
It's you learning your
deciphering
own
you.
worth.
Yeah, exactly. However you're
Yeah.
presenting yourself to me and how you value yourself or whatever, it's up to me to then look at that on how I want to
No, no,
proceed
no,
with it.
no. It's not about how I value myself.
No, no,
It's just how like you value me.
well, no, it's also about how, see, for us, it's also about how you value yourself, your boundaries that you put up, and everything else. That's also a big indicator of how we're going to proceed. Because let's say you have zero boundaries, then it's like, okay, I might look at that some type of way. Or if you do have a lot of boundaries, I can respect you some type of way. Ultimately, how you conduct yourself is going to have a judgment on like how I'm going to judge you in a way and how I'm going to do it. Just like me, how I conduct myself. I'm hardworking, have a lot of effort. I communicate very well. I'm going to show you that, and then you are going to then accept
Oh,
that.
you're still like, you're still, what you're doing is just trying to discover those characteristics within a person, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm still just showing up as me, and then you're like using me as the mirror of what you want,
Not
whether
necessarily a
it's me or
mirror.
not.
Not necessarily a mirror, because I could want you for what I don't have, right? I could want you to fulfill those roles that I can't do, or I might want you to
That's still
fulfill.
like me mirroring what you don't have so that you can like seek it out. Does that
Yeah,
make sense?
yeah, sure, yeah, exactly. However,
Yeah.
you gonna present yourself again, it has to do with whatever who you are. Who you are is going to determine whether or not I add or deduct.
But y'all don't even. Oh, you be stressing me out. You be stressing me the fuck out, Jr. Just with a chica, yes, it's still going on, girl. Because Jr. He's on about some isms. Okay, so that puts again, women are put in a difficult spot when it comes to that, right? Because if you approach us off of 9 times out of 10 a sexual attraction, physical attraction,
Mm-hmm.
aka sexual, right? So you're approaching us that way. And if a woman looks like she's not putting out quickly enough, if you think, you said it yourself, if I think I'm not going to be able to clap them cheeks, then that turns me off. So
When presented with that was said though, not just off rip, but when presented that you went on dates, then yeah, that's what's said. I could just be part
what
of
I'm
that.
trying to say is I think it's unfair to women because like our bodies react certain ways. We like sex too. We also crave like, those intimacy, all that stuff. So to have men who are literally acting as the opposition, they're coming in, right? And they want to have sex with you. All the things that they're doing is to put you in a position to lay down with him. And then if we set up boundaries, a lot of times women get pushed to the side because the goal is sex at the end of the day.
Yeah, but the goal to you should always be to
Constantly
respect
trying
yourself
this.
and value yourself. And if he can't do it, then it doesn't matter how much you were attracted to him. He got to hit the road. You shouldn't feel bad for a man leaving who can't value you. You shouldn't feel bad at all.
What I'm trying to say is, I don't think it's fair that we're constantly put in a position where we have to like combat that. You get what I'm saying?
But it's the same thing
Yeah, and
if
I'm
you look at it
curious,
from the. Uh
JR,
huh.
like, do you like the idea of like being like immediately judged and demoted on like certain things
It's
or
not a.
your characteristics?
It's not about if I like it. I understand it, and I'm okay with it. Like it's a no. If I
So
go up to a
that's
woman, she rejects me. That's exactly what she's doing right then and there, off rip. If I go up to a woman and say, "How you doing? Let me talk to you," or "How you doing? I like your shoes," or "How you doing? I think you're very attractive." If they reject me off rip, I understand it. It is what it is. I'm judged off of at the initial. Not even to get to understand. No, nothing. That's cool. It is what it is. I
Hey,
understand it.
I
my thing
definitely
is,
understand where you're coming from, but I can definitely say from the opposite male perspective of like uh wanting to date to get to know and not like letting certain things make immediate
mm-hmm,
demotions or promotions, if you will.
Hmm.
mm-hmm.
And those type of men are showing up for like the way mm, they want their daughters to be looked at when they date and things like that. So
Hmm.
they're leading the way in their relationships rather in a more traditional masculine sense of like what you're saying right now.
I would assume that she's valuable. If she shows me not, then I will make that judgment. I don't understand how else do I put it. That's why I approached her
Oh,
because she's valuable. She has something I want. And then if she
which is
shows me
coochie.
initially, but like I said, what if she gets me out of hard mode? What if she can actually have a
So,
conversation with me and it's not about sex? What if she spikes my interest? Those things to
right.
me are things to
And
keep
I
me
get that.
around a little bit longer. If she does not show that whatsoever, then I mean, what do you want me to do? Pretend, lie? I'm okay with that. I do that very well. But if we have to be honest, then yeah, she's demoted and or going to brunch. We
I
just
think
I
take.
it's
think
just
I'm.
so interesting that you go to brunch. So, like, that is a more of a drag out thing to me. That, like, plays into the you want to leave a little sweet spot for them so that they remember it. And that, like,
They don't
that
slash my
ignites
tires.
those anxious,
That's
that
I just
ignites that anxious even more because they want that reassurance and value from that more again because they can't have it, but you gave it to them a little bit. You, like, gave them that bait. Does that make
as
sense?
long as they don't slash my tires, it's worked so far. So I'm okay with it. I understand what you're saying. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
switch it up. Maybe I'll take them to lunch. I don't know. But I know I don't want my tires slashed. You know, I might not have made a reaction, but I was upset. So I don't want my tires slashed. I'm gonna respect them and treat them well. And then after that, hey, if I'm gone, I'm gone. Just like if a woman wants to go, she go. If you are boring on a text, if you hit her with a "what you doing" 3 days in a row, she might not ever text you back. It is what it is.
Ugh.
I just say, look, it is what it is. It's nothing. It doesn't matter about your character or none of that when he hits you with a "what you doing" 3 times in a row. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah, it's
sorry. It's
annoying.
just it is what it is.
It does, but it also shows your character, your energy. Like you're not willing to put in that energy and effort to like try
Mm-hmm.
and keep that
Yeah,
consistency
she's
going
not
or
entitled to
that
it. She's not entitled
interest.
to it. Just like I'm not entitled to her body because I just want her. She's not entitled to my time and attention just because she wants it. We're not entitled to it. We have to earn these things from each other, and I think that's the best way to go about it.
Well, I get your point of view, and to speak on like earlier, I the way you explained your reasoning for your thought process, like that made sense. But I would think I was speaking more specifically about the men who will like try a woman for sex on the. It's not just the physical attraction, and then the moment that the woman does sleep with them, then it's like, oh, you're disqualified. I think I'm speaking more about that, where it's almost like it's like a test for them.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because
Ah.
that
That's
to
really
me is
common.
stupid. They do it a lot. They'll be like, "Oh, but you slept with me the first night, so you really a hoe for real. So, can't marry you. You a hoe. Can't
Yeah.
turn a hoe into a housewife." And it's like, but bro, we was vibing. If the moment is there and it's consenting, there. You know how many couples get married and it was like first night they did it,
Yeah. But you have to
and they're
understand,
married for 20 some years.
men and women are very different, and we already know that. But men, again, I think this is a problem with men, but nobody wants to. Men aren't going to admit it. Women don't want to believe it. But at the end of the day, I having boundaries, but they don't like the fact that they wasn't being able to give it. But that's something with them because they felt like I did enough to get sexual access. You know what I'm saying? And that's on them. That's their fault.
I can speak
Wow.
like from personal experience right now. Like, yes, JR, definitely that is a very common experience. But my own personal partnership that I'm with now, like I definitely was like, I don't want to have sex until after I know the person. And we were just vibing, a couple times after like hanging out, and I ended up having sex with him, but I did end up having like still maintaining boundaries after. And so like he saw that and saw that respect within myself, but he didn't like demeanize me just because like yeah, in the moment we were vibing, things got hot and heavy, and we went with it. And
Mhm.
he didn't take it as like me devaluing myself,
Hmm.
but I do understand like a lot of people or a lot of men like JR like kind of immediately have that, and they're not easily swayed back towards the other side.
But look at what you said. You pretty much made him respect you, which is a beautiful thing. And then when y'all did get intimate, he probably loved it. So now he likes you. So now he knows he can respect you because of your boundaries, and he knows you have boundaries. And he loves the sexual access with you, which again is the like. So now he has the combination of both with you, and I think that's all I think women need to do. And again, I say it all the time. I'll be like, women, close your legs. You know what I'm saying? Even though me personally, I'm trying my hardest to open them, but for the women, hey, put those boundaries up. Make a man respect you. Make sure he value you for how you look at yourself. And then after that, show him that little freak when he earned it. When he earned it. He gotta earn it. But show
Sometimes
him
I
that
feel like
freak.
waiting on sleeping with someone when the vibe, like if the sexual chemistry is there, and then you wait and you wait and you wait. At a certain point, I'm like, well, then it's never gonna happen, and I lose interest. Like
That's
even if it's by my own boundary, where I'm just like, now I don't even know like the segue because there's been signals firing off plenty of times, and I'm just like, no, no, no. Now I don't even know how to get the party started if I want to get a party started.
again, that's up to you on how far you go when it comes down to y'all's conversation. Are you talking about sexual things, or are you actually talking about stuff of substance that have nothing to do with sexual access? That could be a different way of intimacy, is bonding on something that has nothing to do with sex, like, sex. So
True,
I think
but
that it's
I
kind of both. Like you want
yeah.
to create that sexual tension, but there's definitely times where there's so much tension at like there's so much things like so much as like creating the tension so high that then it's just there and you're at your peak and then it just dissipates. And so you don't really
Mhm.
want like yeah, how do you even kind of create that sexual connection when you are in person or things like that?
Yeah.
Again, and so I think that's like a fine line.
mhm.
Oftentimes we really just like rush into that heavy, but like JR is saying, like you also want that intermixed conversation with a lot more intimacy and substance so
Mhm.
that that sexual tension is also growing with that emotional tension as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, big facts.
I agree.
See, I'm telling
Uh,
you, we gonna get
This
it.
has been such a great conversation. We have so many side convos that we need to have after this episode as well. I do want to highlight the comments one last time before we get into final day. It's almost 11:30. Holy shit. Just Wanna Chica said, yes, we got needs and yet we get punished for it. It's a test. We are devalued for wanting the same thing or what they were asking for. Right. I'm just like, damn, baby, I thought we was vibing. What's the problem? Now you got a problem? That's crazy. That's how I feel. Well, shit. It's about that. It's been that time, but I'm so happy that we had an extended podcast. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Thank y'all for sticking it through with us. Don't forget to like the episode, okay? We went extra long. JR, hit him with the high noon and tell him your final thoughts.
It's high noon. I hate it when you tell me what to do. No, I'm playing. Let me stop. All right, look. Not a lot of full final thoughts. You know, I will say, again, this is just another way for you to be able to figure yourself out, learn yourself. Attachment styles. Me personally, I don't believe in zodiac signs though, but if you just want to tap into possibilities, right? I say tap into everything so then you could just get a feel for it. Don't be closed minded, you know, like yourself is like, think of it more like a galaxy. It's almost endless, you know. There's always times you're going to change. There's always times you're going to grow. Always times you're going to revert back to your ways. And sometimes you got to ask yourself, why did you do that? And where are you going? And what are you doing? So don't be afraid to do the work. You know what I'm saying? Again, the work is satisfying when done properly. If it's not satisfying, you feel like it's hard, then get help. There are people out there literally to help you with the work. McKenna, you feel me? So is this? There's so many different outlooks to be able to have, and I just want people to continue to try and strive for those different outlooks to really really dig deep. So that's really all I have. G, hope you love my final thoughts, girl.
It gets so nice in the outros. It's kind of alarming because he's been. Anyways, we love JR here. And happy belated birthday, even though you lied to everybody about your birthday. McKenna, what are your final thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. I think kind of like with what JR said of like, I'm not gonna say that the work is easy because even with all my tools, like you're human. It's not always easy, but it's goddamn satisfying at the end.
Mhm.
And so just keep showing yourself grace and be easy with yourself. I think we get really hard on ourselves to like have this final healed finished product of ourselves. And um if you're not in that secure attachment style, that's okay. Like I said, I been getting into that secure space the last 3 years, and I still have moments that I fall and things like that, and it's just all about being human and owning up to those faults and really beginning to move forward with them after. So, yeah, I definitely think my final thoughts are just be kind to yourself, be ease and be graceful with yourself.
Yeah, I love that. And thank you so much for coming on, McKenna. Okay. Self awareness is sexy. All right. Because the more you understand yourself, the better you're going to love. The better you love, the better you going to. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's all about. That's what y'all want to do at the end of the day. I pray that if you want love, that it finds you, as always. And I'm going to beat JR's challenge. I'm going to be secure in 90 days. I'm going to do it, damn it. I'm going to set boundaries right the fuck now. And if anybody tells you that you can't, yes, the fuck you can. Bezos and blessings. Have a good night.